All right, well, yeah, why don't we go back to the menu and we'll dig in here. So yeah, and like I was saying before, if anyone's unfamiliar with Speer or Speer DX, we got 125 levels, I think, of puzzle platforming arcade goodness. And yeah, basically you just have like you kind of. Oh, hold on, I might have to turn off the CRT shader, unfortunately, just because of my computer. Sometimes it always happens to me with the Punk Cake games too, where it's like it just can't handle streaming and running like extra post-processing layers, which is really unfortunate because that CRT filter is awesome on this. But let's start that again from the top and see if it. But I was feeling it start to chug a little bit right off the bat. I'm like, okay, this is not a good sign. But yeah, basically you just have your spear that you can chuck pretty much all the way across the screen. I don't know if you have. It's got a little bit of a drop to it, but then you just have to get to the exit of each stage, and that's pretty much the gist of it. But I love a game where like all the levels have their own name. And let's see, place a checkpoint at any time. Okay. Oh, let's see. I obviously can just do this. And then, yeah, if anybody's hanging out in the chat, feel free to ask either myself or Ando anything as we play along here. But yeah, I just really, really love the like 80s retro. It's almost got like a Pico 8 aesthetic. I don't know if you were going for that at all, Ando.
Palette.
Okay, interesting. Because it's not. I guess it maybe is the palette, but it's something about like maybe like the sprite sizes as well, or the sprite of this little dude here. Does he have a name, or is it just Spear Dude?
It's probably just Spear Dude. Like I haven't really dug into the lore of the game yet.
That's fair. That's fair. Some games don't need lore. Not every game needs it. We gotta get all the Spear collectibles though. Maybe we don't need lore, but we need the collectibles.
I mean, if you want, you could try getting them. Gets tricky though.
Yeah, we'll see. I always say that in like every game I start out trying to go 100% for everything, but it's not a guarantee that I will get there. But yeah, I love the level design. It's just so clever in this. It picks up like pretty quickly. I mean, you know, I'm a pretty, you know, relatively seasoned platform player, so it's like I can, in the opening bits of most platformers, I can usually kind of breeze my way through it, but it's like there's a good sense of challenge and cleverness, like even right off the bat, which is, you know, not every game has that, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, the levels were the main part of the game, and I spent a lot of time tweaking them, like getting them into the right order, like so that the challenge ramps up nicely, that new elements are introduced in the right order and at the right pace, you know?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I put a lot of work into that, and I've heard from a couple people that I apparently succeeded, like in doing this really well. I don't know. There's still like bits and pieces where I go like, maybe could have squeezed in like an intermediate level, like between these two, just to like clarify the mechanic a bit more, but I haven't really heard any loud complaints, so I didn't really fiddle with it like in this new iteration of the game. Although I did add, I think, 15 new levels, like
nice.
Stuck 'em at the end.
Nice. I love that.
And
Is that the main?
that was actually kind of difficult because I had to get back into the game and I haven't worked on it in like a couple of years now. So I had to refamiliarize myself with the mechanics and go like, okay, what's the last thing that I taught players? Like, how difficult were like these previously final stages, so that I can like carry on.
Yeah, to get back in that headspace. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that was actually pretty difficult. And to remind myself, I decided to play like through the entire game again.
Oh, nice.
And dude, like honestly, in the last world especially, I got stuck like more than once. I was like, what the hell was is this bug? Like, is there a way to solve this? And I did figure it out eventually, but I was like, wow, okay.
It's not an easy game. Again, I know I'm kind of like breezing my way through these opening bits, but even like, you know, it takes a little bit of learning to even just get this like jump down where you're like kind of wall climbing. You know, it's not like your traditional wall jump situation. You know, you gotta kind of like jump, throw the spear while you're still on like the upswing of the jump. It's just, it feels really cool. It feels like you can really kind of master the mechanics. And not that I have, and yeah, I haven't beaten this game by any stretch of the imagination. It is not an easy game. And again, I haven't played much of, I deleted my file and started fresh here. I played just the first couple levels of the DX version here, but I probably got like about through like either World 3 or World 4 on the original Spear, to the best of my recollection. And again, I know I mentioned this earlier, but yeah, I found the game through the itch.io bundle for Racial Justice and Equality, which is always, for me, like a little extra awesome to find a game through those means, because then I'm like, okay, not only is this game cool, but I can also like kind of assume that the developer's at least a halfway decent person that cares about, you know, the things going on around the world. So it's just like, it gives me even a little extra, oh, there we go. I don't even know if I needed to jump from that Spear, but I'll take it. But it just gives me like a little extra incentive to be like, yeah, I definitely want to support this game. Not only do I like it, but the dev, you know, supports cool stuff or important stuff, not just cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if we can do something to change the world, or at least make it a slightly better place, then, you know, we should. We should at least try to do what we can. And putting like a game in a bundle, it's like low effort, really.
Right.
And it's not like I'd be losing millions or anything like that, so it was a no-brainer to just add the game.
Yeah, I think so as well. And not to be cynical about it, but you know, I wouldn't have. I mean, I may have eventually, but that's how I stumbled upon yours, and not only yours, but a ton of developers' stuff. So it's, you know, in a positive way for the developers too. Oh, there we go. Finally, I'm gonna start to die here soon, I think. Die a little more frequently, I should say. But yeah, it's just like. I was in the middle of a thought there, I forgot. But basically, yeah, I found a ton of developers through that bundle, and through a bunch of other bundles that itch.io's put together, or that they've just hosted on there. I don't know that they've put together every single one of them, but they've hosted them at the very least.
Yeah, I think they curate a lot of them, but they also host like external ones, like done by other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, these bundles are just insane. Like the amount of games you get, and the amount of games you discover, like once you start digging through it, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's also really intimidating as an indie dev, because you're like, okay, there's like 1,000 games in there, and at least half of them are probably better than mine.
Right.
And it's like, okay, how? Like, nobody's gonna play my game. Nobody's gonna even discover my game exists, because there's like way too many games out there.
Right.
But then again, everybody thinks that way, and eventually, like, if you get lucky, somebody stumbles upon your game and invites you to like a Discord chat / Twitch stream, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And
exactly.
I'm sitting here.
Exactly. There we go, kind of cruising through this first level here, or this first zone. Let's see.
Yeah, like the first world was supposed to be kind of easy, so that you can get used to the controls and like the jumping physics, and like you said, like the wall climbing, which is really important. And I noticed that a lot of people in testing had a bit of trouble with that, like people who weren't used to like platformers. And so I decided to make the first world a bit easier, to put the focus not on the puzzles, but on the like overall gameplay, so that you can get used to working with your spear, throwing items around, stuff like that. But then things ramp up like in the second world, and the focus gets a bit more like on the puzzles.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I do remember it getting really puzzly, but it's a really good balance of precision platforming and puzzle solving, and you really make great use of the real estate of having these just single screen levels, where you know you might have to like go back and forth a couple times to like in you know some of the later stages that we'll get to, I'm sure. You know, you got like dynamite and you're blowing up walls to do certain things. Like it's just there's a lot going on, and you're not just going from here to the exit. You got to go up to the top, then back around. That like you're just working your way around the screen quite efficiently.
Yeah, I mean, if you limit yourself to one screen, then you do have to make the most of it. So I did try to like open up the levels a bit, make you revisit certain areas. So like that's why you have a lot of switches here and there, especially in the later levels, because you can open up like new shortcuts, new pathways. And I originally intended to have scrolling in the game to make them like a bit bigger, but then I realized that I didn't really need that, because like if I made the level too big, if it was like 2 or 3 screens, it would get confusing due to all the elements.
Yeah.
So I thought, yeah, you know what? Let's just try to make just single screen levels, and I think it worked out pretty well.
It worked out incredibly well, in my opinion, incredibly well. Again, like, not that I've played DX much here, but this is truly one of my favorite platformers I've played in recent memory. Like, I really think it's a a brilliantly designed and just everything about it I love. Oh, I gotta watch out for the spear burning here. But yeah, I love this game, and I'm not just saying that because you're here. Obviously, you know I've gushed about this game enough for you to know that I'm a pretty big fan.
Oh yeah, you've gushed about this game like in suspicious amounts, I gotta say. Like I'm still like, is he entirely on the level, or like is he just trying to be nice? But yeah, you do seem to like the game.
No, I'm like, couldn't be more serious. Yeah, as you should be.
I am still proud of the game, even though it's a couple years old, which is rare.
I was just gonna ask. I was gonna say, how long ago did you make this the original version?
Dude, I barely remember. I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably. It's longer than I care to remember, at least.
But, I feel you there.
Actually, let me look this up real quick, because I should know that, but, you know.
First world complete, baby.
2018, so it's like 4 years.
Okay. Got emblem. So emblem, how do I get the emblem? Or no, that's for that particular stage. Okay, I thought it meant for like the world, like the whole first world. I was like, oh, did I miss something?
No, those are the Speer emblem thingies.
Yeah, and by the way, I haven't mentioned the music yet, but the music in this game is incredible. Do you know? Is it the same person that did the music for Go Go Pogo Girl? I'm just
no,
taking a sip of coffee here.
It's a different composer, and I actually got the music off an asset pack like years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
That's shocking.
And yeah, I was surprised too. I was like, okay, this is like really good music. And I checked out his stuff. His name is Andrea Baroni, and it's really good stuff. And he has a lot of stuff spread across many different assets, but you can obviously also hire him. But yeah, I just grabbed the music off an asset pack because I needed music for my game, and that was my first like major commercial release. And when I say major, I mean just like on my scale. You know, so I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna hire a composer, like, cause that's gonna cost me like a couple hundred or $1,000, and the game's not gonna make that back. So I just grabbed something from an asset pack, and everybody was like, oh my god, the music is amazing. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I would have like thought somebody would complain. And then at one point I did hear one of the tracks in another platformer, like randomly. Might have been in an Itch.io bundle game actually, and I was like, oh. Right, yeah, that was an asset pack that I grabbed. Because I forgot, too, because the music's just great.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it feels like, I mean, there's still an art to selecting the proper music. Like, there was, because that's happened to me a couple times. Like, Matt Glanville, actually, on some of his games has used some, I can't remember where he gets them from, but yeah, he got some, where I've heard, I was playing a Trash Quest, and I heard one of the songs from one of Matt Glanville's games in there, and I was like, oh, that's so weird. Like, I was like, this is a Dungeon Deathball song in my mind, but it's just cool. Like, there's an art, and it worked perfectly in both games. It just like pumped up the adrenaline. But the only unfortunate thing is, like, yeah, your brain is always gonna, whatever you heard it in first is just gonna be like, oh, that's the Dungeon Deathball song, or that's the Spear song, or whatever. Exactly. But it's still, there's an art form to like matching, you know, the action with, you know, just like with a film or something, you know, finding the right music and composing, you know, or if you're just, you know, making a quick video or something, but just, you know, matching the mood and the tone. It feels great. And it's like, the worlds aren't too long, so you really can just get away with like, okay, each zone has its own theme, essentially, you know.
Yeah, I got lucky there that I could just like keep the same song playing over and over because the levels are relatively short. And I did spend a lot of time trying to find the right music. Like, I remember going through a lot of asset packs. Like, together with my girlfriend, we'd be sitting there, and I added a jukebox feature to the game, basically. Like, where I could press a button, and the next music, like, the next song would start playing. And we'd be sitting there going, like, okay, like, does this song fit? Like, maybe that's more of, like, World 2 song? And we went through a lot of asset packs and a lot of songs to, like, find these. And all of these songs in this game came from the same asset pack in the end. I just found it, I was like, yeah, okay, this is amazing. Like, everything fits. Like, I have a world for every song. This is amazing. And yeah, so I just used them, never looked back. People like it, so I got lucky there. But then again, it did take a lot of time. Even though, like, all the tracks are Speer music in my mind now, so when I hear them somewhere else, it's like, that's weird.
Yeah, what are they thinking? What are they doing here? But I like how, like, even that last stage, like you had those two like logs or walls. I don't know. They just look like a big like wooden log to me, kind of. But like you have like the oh hey, what's going on, Greth? Yeah, +1 for the asset packs. Yeah, nailed the design for sure.
Yeah, there we go. People love the assets.
Yeah, you got. Hey, that's why people love Kenny so much. You know, Kenny's
Oh,
just
yeah.
cranking out assets because it's like, hey, this empowers so many more people to make games and make their games that much cooler. You know, instead of
Oh,
just having
absolutely.
like, you know, I know you've been dabbling, like the music you did for your Game Jam game for the Pursuing Pixels Jam was awesome, but like I know you're just kind of dabbling with that, so like, you know, I don't think you would have been able to whip something up on this level 5-6 years ago, you know?
Oh no, definitely not. Like I've been meaning to get into music creation for about 5 years, and like with every game, I'm like, yeah, okay, this time I'm gonna make the music myself. And then I usually never end up doing it because it just takes a lot of time to get into that and just get used to like the production tools and all that, and then you actually have to be able to compose something. And like the last music lessons I had were like in grade 6, I think, like at school.
Playing the recorder or something like that.
Not even that, we just sang, and like the teacher
Okay.
would play piano. That was it. Like we never played recorder or anything like that. I think that's like an American thing.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I could have done that in elementary school, but it was like well, not an elective, but you know, you could do it after school if you wanted to.
Okay.
Of course, I never wanted to play the recorder. It's like, why?
Yeah, it's not the. I guess it actually is kind of a cool sounding instrument. Like it's got a soothing quality to it. But yeah, there's no like real drive to like I want to be a professional recorder player. You know, I don't even think there's such thing. Shoot.
I actually have no idea. I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah,
Like,
there's got to be
recorder
someone.
players.
Yeah, there's got to be someone.
Yeah, I mean, it's always funny to watch like orchestras and stuff like that and symphonies, and then there's like this guy getting like really into the triangle or like drums or whatever, and he only has like 3 beats in the entire song, but he's like boom, and he's like really putting his heart into it.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. Like it's absolutely amazing, and you need like musicians for every instrument.
Yeah, yeah.
Not everybody can just like play guitar or whatever. And the recorder is great. Like you can make awesome music with every instrument. I mean, you got bagpipes, and even those can sound amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was never too much into music. My dad was a drummer actually, and I dabbled with drums as a kid, and I played guitar when I was a teenager because I was a teenager. And I always wanted to make music, but I just never had the time for it because I was always busier with other stuff. And if you're sitting there making games, you know.
Yeah, that's so
You've got
time
your hand-
consuming.
Yeah, you have your hands full with everything, and I do the graphics in my games myself, like all of it. And then you get to the music, and it's like, yeah, I'd first have to figure out like the scales and like how to even compose something that sounds remotely good, or, like
Yeah.
that resembles music. Like that's the first step, so you don't just end up with dissonant noise. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. And I did it for the jam game because I was like, yeah, you know what, screw it, let's just do it.
Yeah, this is a good
But
time
for
to practice it or whatever, yeah.
But for Spear, I knew like I had to create like at least 5 tracks for the different worlds, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that. If I decide to do that, I'll be sitting like here for like half a year trying to figure this stuff out, and even then, it's still gonna sound amateurish because it was done by an amateur, you know. So I got really lucky with the asset packs.
Yeah.
Then I got a composer for Pogo Girl.
Yeah, the music's just stellar in that game as well. And you can kind of
definitely.
tell it's a little more custom, custom made, if you will. Oops,
Oh
I
yeah, definitely.
didn't mean to
I
set
mean,
the checkpoint there.
We
Restart
had a
the
lot of
stage.
meetings. Oh yeah, using the checkpoints, nice.
I didn't mean to. I got to restart the stage here.
Oh, okay.
I blew up that wall, and I'm not going to be able to get the. I don't even know if I totally blew it, but it felt like I did something where I wasn't. Yeah, I wanted to go up here first, then throw
The
that.
checkpoint
Yeah.
system is like an addition for the DX version of the game because it is kind of easy to screw yourself over. And even though the levels are small, I didn't want you to have to replay it over and over and over again just because you accidentally like nuked a wall or threw something down a pit of spikes. And so I was like, yeah, checkpoints might be the solution. And then I thought, yeah, custom checkpoints are probably the best idea. So you can like I mean, you can ignore them if you want, you know, but if you know, okay, this is gonna be like a tricky jump, this is gonna be a tricky move, you place a checkpoint, and then you can just reload as often as you want.
Yeah, cause yeah, the main thing that can get frustrating in a game like this, at least for me, is like when there's basically one hard thing that you just can't get past, you know, and you keep dying there, but you have to keep replaying like the part that's, you know, drilled into your brain at the beginning. So yeah, being able to say, okay, I get to here, like I just need to beat this challenge, let me set a checkpoint. Like I really like that mechanic, and I like how the switches here change. Like, you know, you go from just having like blocks and more puzzly stuff to, I mean, it's still puzzly, but you know, now you're turning off lasers instead of activating blocks.
Oh yeah, I kept adding more features like as I thought of them, and the DX version actually has 2 more stage gimmicks.
Nice.
One of them was supposed to be in the original release, but I never got around to using it, and the other one is completely new.
Nice. That's really cool. Especially that you got to go back and like add something that you wanted to before and just didn't either. Is it just because you didn't have the time to get around to it, or?
Well, I never really, like, there was never an opportunity to really use them, because like I made a list of all the gimmicks that I had. I tried to map out like an order in which I wanted to introduce them to get players used to the mechanics and all that, and I started designing the levels and everything, and then I was done. I realized, oh shoot, you forgot like this one gimmick. But like putting it in now would just be shoehorning it in, because you have like this nice progression now and everything. So
yeah,
you know what, just cut it, like, and I just left that out of the game. But now that I had to make like 50 more levels, I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's just put that in now, like as a nice little treat for those people who are like made it to the end of the game. And for those who like played the original, I just wanted to mix things up a little bit. So yeah, you got some cut content in there and like a brand new one.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. Man, I'm trying to figure out how to get up to that puzzle piece there, or that spear piece.
Yeah, let me. I'm trying to think too.
It gets tricky. There's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, especially the emblems. Like,
yeah.
Beating the levels is still tricky, but the emblems are like super tricky in some levels, which is intentional because you don't need them to progress. You just have to grab them to maybe unlock something cool. I don't know.
Oh, there we go. I kind of cheesed it there, but I'll take it. But yeah, I love that too, and like it's like basically like an optional difficult. Like instead of having an easy mode and a hard mode, there's just like, hey, if you want hard mode, go for the emblems.
Exactly.
I really love that design choice in any game that does it. I'm a big fan of that, as opposed to not that easy and hard and normal and whatever can't work, but especially for something like this, I feel like it's just perfect. Or like Donkey Kong Country, you know, go for Kong if you want it to be a little extra hard, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see.
But you can just beat the stages if that's enough, or you can go for like the collectibles or speed runs or whatever.
Yeah, for me it gives me
the best course of action in this game as well.
Yeah, for me it gives me an incentive to replay the game. Like if I'm like, again, I played through a bunch of this on the original Spear, but I'm like, oh well, Spear DX, and I didn't get every last collectible, so I might as well. I think I screwed this up by hitting that sponge. I speared the sponge right into the wall.
Don't spear your sponges, kids.
There we go. Yeah, you gotta.
Grandma always used to say.
Yeah, the earlier stages are more like you can you get the feeling like, okay, I got this figured out, I know what I need to do, and then now can I walk? Oh nope. So I gotta catch that sponge? No, I know what I gotta do. Okay. Wait, maybe I don't know what I have to do. But yeah, you really have to like survey these levels a little more thoroughly if you want to try to go for the emblems. Hey, what's going on, Chaotic? How you doing? Checking out some Spear. I believe you're a Spear fan, or a Go-Go Pogo Girl fan. I don't know. Did Chaotic Fear check those out, Ando? Do you know?
I think they did.
I'm
like,
pretty
the name
sure.
does ring a bell, but I've been so out of it.
Yeah, I
recently
can't. Yeah, you got enough on your plate, I'm sure.
But I mean, a lot of people in the Discord are actually kind of fans of my games, or at least have played them, which is still a bit surreal to me.
Yeah. Let's see. Man, I don't know how to get this thing. Oh, you haven't? Go-Go Pogo Girl or Spear? Oh, man. Fantastic, fantastic games. as you
Yeah,
can see here,
absolutely.
obviously.
I agree. Buy them now. Buy them.
I love it. What the heck? How do I? If anyone makes me get makes you get games, it's me. Hey, I gotta do what I gotta do. Okay, how can I sneak through? Oh, wait a sec. This is definitely not what I'm supposed to be doing, but
Okay, I want to watch this. What
See,
the hell are you doing?
the thing I need to do, I think I need to. So here's what I need to do. Oh, you can spear the sponge off the ground here. So in some cases, you do want to spear the sponge.
That was actually not the solution I intended, but fair enough.
Hey, okay, hey, I gotta make it work. Although I still don't know how I would get that, Oh, wait a sec. Yes, I do. It's like, I don't know how I'd get that, spear emblem up here. Yes, I'll take it. Oh! I don't know how I
There
didn't
you go.
bounce on that sponge, but I'll take that, too. Let's go! Hop on over. Hop on over. I think I, like, clipped just the, like, corner of the sponge hitbox, so I didn't bounce off it. Whew! That was a rough one.
You can actually, if you jump on a sponge and hold down on the control pad, you actually drop through, so you don't bounce off the sponge.
Ah, nice. That's a cool touch.
Yeah, I don't explain that in the game, but I felt like if anybody needs that move, they're gonna try it, and then they're gonna like realize that it works. Same way you can also drop through spears. Like if you're standing on a spear, you can press down and jump, which is like the classic combination, and then you can just like drop through.
Oh, really? See, I didn't think of that either. I wasn't thinking of like, yeah, how can you get down lower once you have a spear in place? Well, heck yeah, I'm
that's
glad.
That's like a small quality of life thing that I added for the DX version.
Okay, nice. That's awesome.
I also fiddle with the jumping a little bit. You have a bit of coyote time now. Like for those who don't know what that is, it's when you walk off a ledge, you have like a few extra frames to make your jump, even if you're technically not on the ground anymore. But that makes like these tricky jumps where you have to jump off the very edge of a ledge a lot easier. So I added that. And you can actually like jump slightly before you touch the ground.
Ah,
So you don't have to
interesting.
wait until you like have fully landed on the ground.
Ah,
But you
yeah,
can,
I
like,
see.
jump a bit earlier, which also is just like a tiny bit of leniency for players, because sometimes you're like in a flow and you're jumping around, and then you just press jump a frame too early, and then you just walk in spikes, and that's super frustrating. So like to increase the flow of gameplay, I just added a bit of like leeway to the jumping.
Yeah, that helps the cause. Yeah, any little thing that's gonna help, because yeah, there's nothing more frustrating than like hitting the jump button and then having it not register because you were still in the air or whatever, and then you're just like, oh, I pressed the button and it, you know, I didn't jump. What the heck? You know, it's easy to get.
Difficulty is nice, but you should never feel screwed over by the controls or physics or whatever it is.
Right, I completely agree. Here we go, a little bit of an easier one after a couple struggle levels there.
Oh yeah, you gotta take a breather, like, occasionally. So I sprinkle in some slightly easier levels, like, in between the tougher ones.
Yeah. I like how, like, again, too, like, there's, like, some of those previous stages, like, there was, like, that one stage with, like, the puzzle, like, with the sponge. Like, I didn't even need... The sponge was only there for the sole purpose of the puzzle. Or to get the spear emblem, that is.
Yeah, that's sometimes the case, sometimes not. Like, that's one thing you have to figure out. You don't always need all the tools to reach the end. You usually do need all the tools to reach the emblems, but even then, like, honestly, there are ways to cheese a lot of things.
Yeah, which
So,
I love that, too. Like, it feels just so good to cheese stuff in a game. Like, whether you do it on purpose or on accident, it just feels amazing.
Yeah, and that's something that I try to like keep in my games, like little things that only like an experienced player would be able to exploit, really, because I like that too in games when you find like a move that makes you like jump higher than you're supposed to, or like walk faster or whatever. And I do try to keep them in my games. I do like take them out if it proves to be like too easy to exploit, or if people can get the impression that you're supposed to do that. Like, that's always bad, because then people are gonna keep trying to do that one move that they were never supposed to do in the first place.
Right. That makes
So
well, even in your Game Jam game. Ah, dumbass. in your game jam game, I kept trying to, like, as soon as I found out I could clip that corner and like avoid the spikes, it was just like, or
Exactly.
not spawn the spikes. It was like, well, I'm gonna do that every time. And then yeah, that almost like it got to the point where like maybe you could hone it where it's like, oh, maybe you could make it where it's like a pixel perfect and make it feel good. But at the way it was like kind of almost broke the game because it just made it a little too easy.
Exactly.
If you were able to master that maneuver.
Yeah, and that's the perfect example because that was one thing that I discovered during testing, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it in. Like, if anybody discovers that, then good for them.
Right.
And then everybody discovered that within like 10 seconds of gameplay, and I'm like, yeah, okay, this just breaks the game. This breaks like the intended gameplay and the balance, so I have to take it out. But I mean, Pogo Girl had a speedrun strat built in for like the longest time, actually.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, that was a move that you could do to like clip through walls, basically. Like, you're probably not familiar with Sonic speedrunning, like the classic Sonic games, but there's a way that you can zip around the level by glitching into a wall, and then the collision will like try to push you out at light speed until you're like free of the wall, and you can exploit that to like wrap around the entire stage. And you can do something similar in Pogo Girl. Like if you jumped and landed near a wall at a very specific way, it would like shoot you through the wall, and you could like pass through like large areas of the stages. But in the end, it happened too often by accident. So I was like, yeah, okay, I have to like fix this. I have to like take it out of the game because people were discovering it by accident. And I wanted to leave that in for like ambitious speedrunners to discover, but in the end I had to take it out. But honestly, there's probably still a lot of like bugs and glitches in there that I never found.
Yeah.
And the same with Speer. Like, there's a lot of ways to cheese the levels, I'm pretty sure.
But that's kind of fun, especially for a game like this where you have a bunch of levels like this. Like it feels cool when you like again, as long as it doesn't have like a broken feeling quality, like when you feel like you can almost like outsmart the game, or like, oh, the game dev didn't think of like this possibility maybe of like me sneaking in this like crack spot where there's no hitbox, or whatever the situation might be. I just find that stuff super interesting or fun sometimes.
Yeah, it is super rewarding for a player to discover like little tricks like that. But if it happens too often, then the game just starts looking unpolished.
Yeah, agreed.
Because
Yeah,
at that
there's a
point
fine
you're like
line.
thinking like, okay, what did the designer like do? Like, what the hell were they thinking? Like, they didn't test this apparently.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a hard balance to strike. I guess I did it kind of well with Speer. Like, I got lucky. But yeah, there are still like exploits. There was actually an exploit that I fixed a couple days ago where you could jump off items.
Oh.
Like, but not in the intended way, because the Speer dude, he has like a little sensor below him that checks for ground, so that you like he knows when he's on the ground, when he can jump.
Yeah.
And that actually reacted to a couple of the like items in the game, so you could like infinitely jump off like a sponge, for example, or like a barrel. Like, even though they're not solid, like you're not supposed to be able to stand on them or like jump off them, but you could just like keep jumping off of them, which I think you could use to like glitch a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I took that out because that was a bit of a rough one, because it was really easy to discover. I have no idea why I didn't stumble upon that. But there's actually one move, maybe you'll discover it, so I'm not going to mention it here, that you can do with a sponge, which you're never required to do it. It's cool if you get it to work, and it might be too easy to do. Like, I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence about that one. But yeah, you're never required to do it to progress. But like, if you discover it, then yeah, you can use it if you want.
Interesting. I'm curious. So with the sponge, I'm curious if I'll find it. Chaotic says he can never find those tricks. Doesn't have the brain for it. Don't sell yourself short there, Chaotic. But yeah, here, I screw myself over with a quick restart here.
Yeah, you can just keep pressing the right shoulder button, by the way, to reset
nice.
quickly. Yeah, the restart option from the menu just like hard resets the entire stage, but if you like hold the right shoulder button, you can pretty much like respawn instantly. And that's also what like respawns you at the checkpoint. Because like when you place a checkpoint, everything you've done like remains. like everything you've blown up, like is still blown up. So that's how you are actually supposed to reset the game. The restart option is just there, like if you royally screwed yourself over.
Yeah, one thing that I think is a really nice touch is how you can hide the menu when. So if you're like, okay, I just want to like take a break and breathe for a second, and well, it's not working on my gamepad for whatever reason. It was working on the keyboard.
Yeah,
but,
it should be working on your gamepad too, so that's an error on my end, I'm pretty sure. Gonna
well,
add that to the list real quick.
It could be I'm using an 8BitDo SN30. Every now and then it's like it like acts weird with certain games. So because the button X is the spear throwing button, so obviously it's working.
I can pretty much assure you that the issue is on my end. I already know what it is, so I'll have that fixed soon.
It's so funny how often I run into that where I'm like playtesting. Like there was one game, Clockwork Kingdom, I was playing recently from Jamie Rowan, and I was I can't remember what I was doing. Oh, just right off the bat, you're supposed to like not be able to move, and it like drops you on this conveyor belt that like moves you along. And I was playing with the gamepad, and I was like, hey, just so you know, I was like, it seemed like it was telling me that I wasn't supposed to be able to like do anything at the beginning, but I was able to just walk around and do whatever I wanted. And they were like, oh yeah, I didn't even test it with a gamepad, like didn't even think. And I, as a non-game dev, I wouldn't even think of like, you know, oh man, I gotta have, you know, 2 separate options for or I gotta program in like both instances. I would just think it's like automatic, but obviously not the case.
Yeah, I mean, it is automatic if you set it up correctly, or if you use like an engine that has it all like already set up. But I personally, like in my, like the engine that I cobbled together, I have to check them separately. And I also reworked a lot of the controls for the DX version, and I didn't like fix some of the references. So I'm pretty sure that the pause menu is still looking for the old way of checking buttons. And that one no longer works, so it's never registering that you're actually pressing the X button. In the game, yes. In the game, like, it holds the right controller, like, everything works. But in the pause menu, that's a different check. And I probably just forgot to, like, test that properly. And then it's just asking for a gamepad that's not there, basically. So that's the issue. Gonna have that fixed. That should be, like, a 10-second fix.
Yeah, nice.
Now, having said that, I'm gonna spend, like, the entire evening on that.
Yeah, or either that or
either that or
you'll just do something, you know, you'll find another thing and then another thing, you know, it's just a never-ending rabbit hole, I feel.
Oh yeah,
It can be.
It's pretty much a death spiral. Like once you start tinkering with one thing, everything else just falls apart.
Yeah, it's like we were saying before we jumped on. It's like you can almost like you can be, obviously it's not, I'm not the first person to say this, but you can like be your own worst enemy in the sense that like you're just like, it's never going to be perfect and you can always keep trying to make it better. But yeah, sometimes exactly. Nice. I don't know why, but I wasn't thinking that the sponge would stay on top of the spear. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was the point of the level, for you to figure that out. That's why I called it build a shelf, because you're basically building a shelf with a spear you can put the sponge on.
I really love all the names for each level. Like, that's such a great touch. I know I haven't even like mentioned that, but yeah, that's something I love. And like whether it's this or like even like a game like when VVV has like each like screen has its own name. Like I just think that's such a cool touch.
Yeah, that was actually an inspiration. Like, I thought if I had, like, 100 levels, which are, like, kind of samey, you know, because there's 25 levels in the world, I was like, yeah, I gotta spruce it up a little bit, and let's just add names. So it's not just like, oh yeah, what's level 2-25?
Right, right.
Like, I just gave every level a name, which wasn't always easy, but it also gave me the option to, like, add little hints on how you're supposed to beat the levels, like
yeah.
you sometimes do. Sometimes it's just like, you know, getting complex, because I was like, yeah, this is a pretty big stage with a lot of stuff in, though. So yeah, it's getting complex. That's what I'm gonna call the level.
Yeah, but no, I do like that, how you can, yeah, like, with, like, the last one, building a shelf, yeah, you can leave a little bit of a hint for the player, and be a little bit, or just make, like, a cheesy joke or something, you know, you have a lot of flexibility with what you can do.
Yeah, you can put in some dad jokes. You can put in some references that nobody gets. Like the original game had a reference in one of the titles that, as far as I know, nobody ever got. And I took it out of this version because it was also causing technical difficulties, oddly enough. But yeah, that was a reference that nobody ever got. Like, I asked about it on Twitter like a couple years ago, and people had theories, but nobody figured it out. But it was like super deep, it was super specific, so I'm really not surprised that nobody like figured it out.
That's funny though. Okay, so
Yeah,
okay, I can just do this. Okay, I'm overthinking that. There we go. But yeah, these levels are getting pretty nice and hefty here. As in,
remember
like,
the checkpoints. Like, remember you can place checkpoints.
That's true. That's true. Let's see.
But you're doing this hardcore.
I know. I that's always, for whatever reason with platformers, I always have like the instinct to go for 100% and to like just never use like whatever. Not never check. Like, it's not like I played Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight. Yeah, it's not like I played Shovel Knight and like broke all the checkpoint things or anything like that. But yeah,
you turned British there for a second.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Listening to too many podcasts. Let's see. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was gonna break on the spikes. God damn it. Okay.
I told you, man. I reminded you about the checkpoints, but you had to be the big man.
Yep. I should have just placed one right there. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking like, oh, I'll use it next time. What an idiot. Because even this, I don't think I'm doing right, but...
There's no achievement for beating the game without checkpoints because I didn't want to force people
to
do that. I mean, maybe I'll add it in later, like if people like demand more achievements. But yeah, I didn't want to hamstring them too much. And there's also a puzzler mode in the game. I don't know if you've checked that out.
I saw that. I didn't know what it did, but I saw it in the menu, yeah.
Yeah, like if you highlight it in the options menu, it tells you what it does. It essentially gives you 3 checkpoints instead of 1 per level, so you can save more often. And it gives you like an optional slow motion toggle, so you can slow down time to get past like tricky platforming sections.
Oh, that's, you know what? I saw you teasing the slow motion stuff. I didn't. Yeah, I don't know why I totally forgot about that. Oh no. No, there you go. Hey. I love it.
Yeah, there you go. So,
yeah.
Like, it offers you to skip a level if you get stuck or die too often. It
I
also
like
tells you like about the puzzler mode.
Yeah, I like that. It's like a good way to like introduce it in a way that's like, oh, hey, like, are you getting frustrated? Like that, I could easily see like, you know, somebody could be like, I like playing a game and beating my head against the wall like this. Well, not like that. But you know, I don't mind. Oh my God, just keep dying like an idiot here. Got to use my spear. But I enjoy like, you know, a tough challenge and just like replaying things. For whatever reason, I just find that fun. But yeah, that's like perfect timing, I feel, where you could be like, okay, someone might be getting frustrated after dying that many times on the same stage. Now's a good time to, you know, Nintendo even does that quite a bit, I feel, with their approach. Like if you die a bunch on a stage, it's like, oh yeah, do you want some help with this?
Didn't they have like these, what was it, in Mario Galaxy, I think? Didn't they have like, if you die enough, you get like an item that makes you entirely invincible, and you can also float, or was that like 3D World? I don't know, but yeah, Nintendo has like a lot of these accessibility things, and I did want to put them in this game too. Like the skip level feature was in the original, because I do like challenges as well. I'm not that much of a puzzler guy, and I just didn't want people to get like entirely stuck, because it's stupid. Like if you get stuck, it's oftentimes for like really stupid reasons, because you have a brain fart and you don't realize like a very simple thing, and that could block you off from playing like 50 more levels or something like that.
Right,
and that's frustrating. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna add in like a skip level feature, especially if you like die too often, because that means you're having trouble with the platforming. And since this is also like a puzzle game, it's mainly a puzzle game actually.
Yeah,
I didn't want to punish people too much for like not being able to nail the platforming, so I added the skip feature. And then like when it came to the DX version, I thought about how I could make the game a bit more accessible and less frustrating. So I added like all this stuff, and I thought of the slow motion feature that you can like toggle on and off at any time, which makes the platforming a lot easier, especially if you have to like climb the walls and you have to like jump and spear like almost at the same time, but not quite. So if you can't get the timing right there, you can just like enable the slow motion. But then I ran into the issue that I didn't want people to think they had to use the slow motion. because when you use it, you can do stuff that you're not really able to do, like at
Right.
regular time. So I had to figure out a way how to like have the feature in without telling them, yeah, you have to use this. Like, it's not bullet time. It's not Max Payne. Like, you're not forced to use it. You're not really supposed to use it. It's just like a crutch.
Right.
And so I decided on having like a puzzle mode that you can enable for people who like the puzzling aspect a bit more and just want help with the like overall difficulty of the game and the platforming. And so I added that as like a option. And there's also no penalty in using that. So like there's no
like you can still get the achievements and stuff with if you use that stuff. Nice.
Exactly. It's just like my way of catering to the different tastes, because I did make a puzzle game, but it's also kind of a hardcore platformer.
It's yeah, it's definitely equal parts both, I think. Like it's very and like I feel like fans of both could like whatever but if you're a fan of just like casual puzzle games, you're not going to be able to beat this game without some platforming chops. But having those, adding in like slow motion or 3, even 1 checkpoint is pretty decently generous for how, even though the levels can be a little bit on the longer side, you play them, they take a while to beat. They're not like just 2 minutes. But here we go, Snicked. So I don't think when I played this music doesn't sound familiar. So I feel like I beat this world, but I'm not, or I played this world, but I'm not 100% sure. This might be new to me. This isn't a new level, is it? Like for not one of your new bonus levels. Is the new stuff you added like a full new? I'm just taking a sip of water and coffee here. Yeah, I think there's 115 levels, right, Ando? Am I correct in that?
125 actually.
Oh, so how many? So were there 110 in the original?
Yes.
Okay,
if I recall correctly, you had like 4 regular worlds, and then the 5th one was like an unlockable one with 10 stages.
Kind of like Pogo Girl, that you did the same thing. I love it.
Exactly, like just like an unlockable bonus. And in this version, I thought, okay, let's just make the final world like an entire one, like add 15 levels, so you get like the full 25, and that's where all the new stuff is. Like the levels up until that point are more or less unchanged. Like I might have fiddled with item placement a bit to like prevent exploits and stuff. But like all the new stuff and the new levels are at the very end of the game. It's like the last 15 levels that are brand new in this edition.
Nice. Hey, what's going on, Colonel Bubble? We're checking out some Speer DX here with Ando from OSAT Games. I always call you Ando just because that's your username in the Discord.
Oh yeah. Just stick to Ando. I'm trying to make that a thing.
Okay, nice, perfect. But even the little like details, so like the way your like little hand, like even though it's just a single little square pixel, like it's the way it swings, and then you just sit down over time if you don't touch the controller. It's all those little touches. But yeah, we're about halfway through the game here. A little less than halfway after we're just talking about those bonus levels. But I'm just taking a sip of coffee here, adjusting my headphones. I was just talking about this on Twitter the other day. How I don't know if any. Do you wear glasses, Ando?
Yep.
Glasses and headphones at the same time. Fucking terrible combination. Just gives you such a splitting headache over time.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And it's all kind of headphones too, like the big over-ear ones. They like start to like put too much pressure on your like the entire thing, like on the glasses. But my favorite is like in the winter, when you're like wrapped in layers of clothing and you got like a jacket, maybe you even got a scarf.
Yeah.
And then you got glasses and you got like a cap on, like a wool cap, and then you're trying to listen to music.
Yeah, and your glasses are fogging up and you can't see anything.
Yeah, exactly. Then you enter like a store or like a tram or whatever, and you can't see anything, and you're choking yourself with like the headphones. Because I don't have AirPods or anything like that. I don't afford them, don't want them. I lose them like instantaneously, basically.
Yeah, I would do the same, I'm sure. Yeah, I try not to carry around anything wireless too much. Because it's just the one more thing to lose track of.
And it's another thing that you have to charge.
Yeah, exactly. My controllers are always dying on me. My mouse, my keyboard, my whole Bluetooth just literally just disappeared off my computer the other day. Just like, what the hell is going on?
That's amazing.
I got it working again. I just reinstalled Windows, and it didn't work right away, but or reset Windows, I should say. I definitely played some of these stages because I remember these spiky buddies.
Yeah, and the spiky buddies are like one of those things where I thought the slow motion could come in handy because they only stay stunned for like a few seconds. So
Ah.
if you're like if you're not really that good at platforming, or if you feel a bit too pressured, you can like hit them, enable slow motion, then you just have more time to line up your jumps, get past them. Because like this world, like the third world, is a bit platform heavy, especially
Yeah.
in the beginning, as you could tell.
Yeah, and the second world was very puzzle heavy. Like to me, it felt there was some platforming. Like there's both at all times, but yeah, it was very platform heavy on that, or puzzle heavy on that last world. I feel.
Yeah, exactly. And in this world, I'm introducing like the floating spike platform dudes,
shit.
whatever, which are obviously more of a like platforming hazard. So yeah, that's one of those times where the slow motion feature will really come in handy if you need it. Like, you never have to use it. It's entirely optional. If you want to be like a hardcore major league gamer, like be my guest.
Yeah.
But
You
there's
know
no
me.
shame in playing the game in puzzle mode, because I did have to like cater to two different fan bases, which was hard, and I'm not entirely sure I managed to do that.
I would
100%, but
I mean, it's definitely impossible to cater to everyone, I feel, but and I should say, I know you said like you had to, and it's definitely awesome to try to be, to make things as playable as possible, but you don't have to, and not everybody does. So it's awesome that you did. Like not every developer does take the time to say, hey, I got to make sure, there are games that are just like, hey, this is just way too hard. I'm never going to be able to play this, and there aren't any accommodations for making it a little easier to play. So it's awesome that you thought about, hey, you know what? I got something on my hands here where like there could be puzzle fans that might be alienated by the difficult platforming. So how can I accommodate that, and without totally changing the game or ruining the game, or at least still have it be fun for those players that aren't going to have as much of the platforming challenge. How can I still make it fun and satisfying to play?
yeah,
That's a challenge.
Yeah, and like in the end, I just want people to have fun with my games. I want them to enjoy my games, and obviously I want as many people as possible to enjoy them, because I mean, that's first of all how I'll make my money, but I just want to give people like joy when they play the games.
Right.
Because playing games is awesome, so I want as many people as possible to experience that, and getting frustrated or annoyed or bored or whatever, that's never a good thing, So I did try my best to like balance out the gameplay so that everybody could enjoy it, at least those people who like platformers and or puzzle games. And I did all I could, I think. Like, I can't really think of any other ways I could have like catered even more to platform fans or like puzzle fans. And especially like with games like this, it's a very hard balance to strike. Because if you make Super Meat Boy, it's like, yeah, this is for platforming fans. Like, if you're not into like fast-paced, difficult platformers, then you're just not gonna play the game. And
Right.
That's fine. But if you have a game where people go like, oh yeah, that looks puzzly, that's kind of up my alley, and then they buy it and they can't get like past the 5th stage or something because they just can't get the coordination right for platforming, that sucks, That's a bummer. And I don't want bummers in my games, basically, so that's a good rule of life. Like, that's my game dev advice for anybody listening. Like, don't have bummers in your games.
Yeah, I'd say that's a safe rule to live by.
And I mean, if you want, you can still beat the game like in regular mode without the puzzler mode, without slow motion. You don't even have to use the checkpoints. I mean, you don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I haven't used anything at all yet. At some point, I'm sure I'll feel like I'm gonna have to. But so far, so good. Oh, I love how the spear has like just the slight. Oh, I don't know. Is that what was supposed to happen there? That slight arc to the spear?
Well, the arc is intentional. You were not really supposed to hit the switch that way, but hey, man, good on you.
Nice, yeah.
There
Again,
you go,
like it's more like
speedrun strat.
exactly like the accidental stuff, but like you could totally master that. But I do love that arc of the spear. But I do think I might want to restart this so I can just rethink of what this level's actually supposed to look like.
I mean, you can play the game however you want. And one thing that people requested after I published the original is like a speedrunning mode. 'Cause, like, a lot of speedrunners came to me and were like, yeah, could you like add an option, like a timer and some to reset our progress so we can like try all the stuff again?
Yeah.
And so I did that. Like, you reset the progress like at the beginning of the stream, so you can like do that. And I actually added like a fully fledged speedrunning mode. You can like pick different levels and it'll track your time, or you can decide to play through an entire world and it'll give you like your total time. No, actually it's not by world. It's like per stage or per game. Like you can pick to beat the entire game in one go, and at the end you'll get like a global time, how long it took you to beat the game. And that was something for the speedrunning community, because a couple of them wanted to run the game. And I was like, yeah, you know what, that's awesome. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna find a lot of glitches or just like ways of beating the levels that I didn't think of.
Yeah.
That's gonna be exciting. Like, I hope that a couple speedruns are gonna show up soon.
Yeah,
I really want to know how much my game can be broken.
you leave it to the speedrunners to find every possible way to break the game. Shoot.
Oh yeah, they're insane, man. They're just so insane. It's amazing.
It's another breed. It's another breed. It's
Oh,
unreal.
definitely. I mean, have you seen that they can like reprogram Super Mario World into like a Pong game or something like that?
Yeah, like
a
well,
Breakout clone?
while they're playing the game, like it's just, it's way over my head. And yeah, even as like yourself as a programmer, I mean, I don't know anything about that stuff, but I feel like they're like almost like, yeah, programming the game as they play somehow, like, you know, working bugs into the code or something.
Yeah, exactly. They do like specific movements to like write specific code to areas of memory. And if you write just the right code, it just warps you to the credits. And I'm like, yeah, okay, like I understand on a technical level, but how do you figure that out? Like, how?
Right, that's the thing that breaks my brain. It's like, how, I get that this works, but how did you stumble across it? I don't know if they're like digging in the code and finding like weird loop-de-loos and like, oh, this is like, you know, a weird glitch. Okay, now we're getting a third. I guess we saw it a little earlier, but we got a third switch color here.
Getting switchy.
I was expecting that laser to shut off when I shot this. Oh, not like that. Okay. Pop this over. Pop that. Oh, shit. I can still get up there. Okay. But yeah, these level... Oh, wait a... Oh, okay, I didn't think I was going to be able to squeeze through there. Hey, what's going on, Turd Boomerang? How's it going? Yeah, playing some Speer about a little over halfway through the game, yeah?
Spoiler country, yeah. That's not a country you want to be in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of those problems with this kind of game, because you want people to stream it, like, you want to spread word of mouth.
Yeah.
But then, like, if you spoil the entire game, I don't know if people are still gonna be, like, as interested in, like, playing it or buying it. I mean, it's not like you're gonna remember, like, all the solutions to the puzzles, but still, it's like, that's one of those games where I was like, huh, I have no idea how to market this, so I'm just gonna wing it. Like, if a streamer asks for, like, a code, I'll just give it to him, and it's like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, I gotta bring the sponge. I'm like, how do I get down here? So yeah, definitely getting tricky to get these, but I know what you mean. But thankfully, because this game is like puzzly, but you also have to lock down the execution as well, I feel like that adds to like your ability to kind of make it a little more shit. Like where even if people have seen the game in action and they kind of know even if they feel like they know the levels, like oh shit, you still have to execute it. You know what I mean? So it's not totally spoiled, even if you think you like, oh, I know how to beat that level, you still have to do it, and it's not easy to do.
Exactly, and even then there might be like a better way to do it.
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
faster way to beat the game, so...
It's definitely not like a singular, like there's ideal solutions for sure, but it's not like, oh, here's the one solution and this is exactly what you have to do to beat it, you know? And that's definitely cool. I really like that touch.
By the way, it's really fun because I'm like a couple seconds behind the stream now, and I just hear you cursing, and like in my mind I go like, okay, what did he do? What did he do? And, like I'm sure he like speared this the wrong way, or he like dropped into there, and then like 5 seconds later, I just see you like haul the entire sponge like across the map, and I'm like, oh yeah, that explains it.
Yep, just like a total noob over here, just chucking the sponge into the spike pit. But I think I figured out, yeah, I think I figured out what I gotta do here.
I mean, maybe I should have put like checkpoints in the game. Maybe that's a system I should have implemented. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so. Because, like, again, like, they are bite-sized-ish levels. So, like, you don't want to... I don't know. It's a fine line. I think what you added, like, with the ability to add your own checkpoints and having it be entirely optional, I think that honestly, I think was a great solution. Turd, you can do, I feel bad always calling you just Turd. But I'm gonna take a sip of coffee
I was
here.
just thinking about that because I was like, turd
Yeah, boomerang. Maybe I'll just say boomerang. Yeah, but exactly. It's just like you gotta just shorten it. But so you have one checkpoint in regular mode. I can just press the top face button and place it. And then if puzzle mode, I get slow motion and I get 3 checkpoints instead of just the one. But I guess I placed this checkpoint right at the beginning of the stage.
Yeah, and you see, like, it remains there unless you restart the game from the pause menu.
Okay, nice.
That resets everything. But if you, like, hold the reset button now, it just puts you back at the checkpoint.
Nice.
Or if you die, you just respawn there.
Okay. Nice. I like how there's, like, yeah, the flexibility of, like, do I want to, like, make this super hardcore for myself, or do I want to make it, you know, leave a checkpoint for myself and...
And of course, Kevin just, like, doesn't restart the level. Like, screw checkpoints, you can do it.
Yeah, we're going full-blown gamer mode, man.
Yeah, dude. Like, take a chug of your, like, Monster Energy.
Yeah. I know. Where's my
some Doritos?
Where's my Mountain Dew sponsorship? Taco Bell and Mountain Dew. G Fuel, baby. Didn't they discontinue G Fuel or something? Or no, I think it was just like some flavor. I saw somebody saying like, "Oh, they discontinued my favorite flavor." I was like, "Who has a favorite flavor of G Fuel?" But maybe that's just me.
Dude, maybe like I mean, there has to be a reason. It's like so omnipresent, so there are probably a lot of fans. Like, I don't know, man.
There's gotta be, yeah. I was always, whenever Randall and I would stay up late playing video games, we would always drink Balls energy drinks. I don't know if anybody has those, or it's BAWLS.
I've never heard of that one.
They're pretty good.
Sounds
They're
very homoerotic, though. Chugging
yeah.
on some balls.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting. Okay, I'm actually curious how to get...
Oh god, there's even a Sonic flavored, like not a Sonic flavor, but like a G Fuel with Sonic related flavor.
Really?
Sonic's Peach Rings.
What?
Yeah.
Peach rings?
Tastes of peach ring candy, apparently. I don't know.
Okay. Is that maybe in the movie? Does Sonic like peach rings? Did you see those movies?
I've seen the first one, yeah. I'm waiting on the Blu-ray for the second one.
But
no, as far as I know, there's no peach rings being advertised in that. I think he doesn't go past chili dogs. I mean, rings is obvious, and peach rings, yeah, I don't know, maybe they're like yellowish, so...
Yeah, oh, and speaking of now, so I definitely didn't play this far before, and thankfully we got Turd Boomerang with the save here telling me to read the stage titles like we were talking about earlier. I'm like, man, what the hell am I supposed to do here? Now you're carrying portals. I'm too caught up just chatting to Ando here. I'm like, oh shit, but this is awesome. So yeah, I'm guessing I'm gonna be able to throw this through the laser. Yeah, so yeah, I definitely did not play this stage. So I guess I didn't even get this far. So this is all gonna be new puzzle solving here, and not even me solving the puzzles. I'm apparently gonna need the assistance.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I have a chat.
Exactly. Let's see. Okay, get the puzzle piece here.
Thanks, Boomerang.
Yeah.
I worked really hard on the levels, trying to get like a good balance down, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of ways to still break them. But you know, it's a video game. You'll always be able to like break them apart.
Yeah, there'll always be something where you're like, oh, that didn't work like it was intended or whatever. But now let's see. I think I want to get the green one first, then the red. Green again. Okay. Wait a sec. No, yeah, not yet. I think I want to do the green first. Then,
I can hear the cogs turning.
I know, yeah, I'm like just, Like, can I? I think I can sneak up here. Yep. But then, hold on. Once I get the S, I'm gonna need the sponge. Oh, but I can break the portal down. So let me restart here. I love how fresh or how quick and snappy that feels to just like start the stage over.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it's
that
not.
was
But you
was
can't.
important.
But you can't like accident. Like if I just tap the button by mistake, it's not like, oh shit, I accidentally restarted. Like it's. I like that you have to hold it down for a quick second.
Yeah, that was exactly my intention. Because, like, it would be the most frustrating thing in the entire game if you were close to the end and then your finger slips and you press the button and it just resets everything.
Yeah. Shoot. So
And yeah, I mean, with a game like that, where you can, like, die every couple seconds, it's important to be able to restart quickly. And
right.
I thought that was the best way to go about it, to just give you a button, like a dedicated face button, to just, like, restart the game. Or reset the level, rather.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like half listening to you and half trying to figure
Yeah.
out this level. Okay, so what I got this portal here. I'm thinking.
Boomerang got stuck too, so you're
Yeah.
not the only one.
Okay, nice. Yeah, Boomerang stumped for a while, but then it felt so obvious. But that's like the best feeling when you're like, ah, yeah, there it is. That's another like sign of a good puzzle game, I feel.
Yeah, and to kind of like encourage that feeling, that's one of the reasons I added the skip feature. So you could just skip the levels when you get stuck, so that you can keep playing the game, but then come back later to that one stage, and then it just clicks, you know? You're like, oh, yeah, obviously I just have to do this. Like, why didn't I think of that last week? So,
Right.
like, in order to facilitate that kind of feeling, I thought it would be okay to just, like, have people skip levels.
Yeah.
And I mean, to properly beat the game, you have to beat every level, and if you want to unlock the extra stuff at the end, which might be there, maybe you can unlock something, maybe you can't. Yeah, you can unlock stuff. You can
Nice.
unlock, like, a thing, like getting all the emblems had to give you something. Like, I couldn't just have it do nothing, just flash like thank you.
Yeah, thanks for playing my game. Or you could go Super Mario World style. You are a super player.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, old school just have like a different end screen after the credits.
Yeah, hey,
Like after you just spend like 8 hours collecting like everything in the game, and they're like, oh yeah, we're not gonna change anything. Here's like a different picture, and now you can like go away.
Sometimes that's all you need, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, if it's amazing art, or you know, if it's Samus in a bikini, that's gonna be enough for players. But I always try to add like little stuff to the game, like little unlockables, little bonus content, like secrets. I mean, Go-Go Poke Girl had actually, honest to God, push button cheats, like in the old days.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. I love little touches like that. Okay, I am really stumped at how to get that S. I obviously can beat the stage. I mean, I could just beat it like that. But if I go down there, I think, like, my head was like, I gotta bring the sponge in there with me, and then I could get the S and then bounce myself out. But I gotta... Once I threw the sponge in there, but then I wasn't able to I closed off the reds, so I gotta figure out how to hit that. Huh.
Boomerang's just sitting there chuckling to himself.
I know, just like, yeah, I'm over here on 314, man. Okay, let's see here. Because once you hit it... Okay. Oh, wait a sec. Maybe I throw the portal through? Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Sniped. And then... But I think I need to take the sponge with me. Shit.
it's amazing seeing your thought process in action. Oh wow, boomerang. Wow, he had a different solution. That's interesting. But that's what I mean. Like the games, the levels are kind of open, like especially the later ones, and there are multiple like ways to beat them. Sometimes that's intentional. Most of the time, it probably isn't. It's just something that I like overlooked.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm not supposed to climb up outside of that laser beam right there. I could be wrong, but
no.
I was gonna say,
like you weren't required to do that. But I do like that you're like so intent on bringing the sponge with you. I have no idea why, because you could just like spear up the wall.
oh yeah, you know the upper corner had the like concrete wall or whatever where you or steel wall or whatever where you can't throw the spear. So in my head I was just like, oh, the whole right wall is I can't throw my spear over there. Duh.
Yeah,
I'm like, I just made that way harder. Just made that way harder.
Yeah, I was like listening to you and I heard it click and you were like, oh yeah, I have to throw the teleporter, and you figured out like this difficult, tricky puzzle. But Jenny like, oh yeah, but I definitely need that sponge. Like, there's no way, I just need that sponge, man. And
Okay,
like,
so
no, you don't.
So
you
Turd bounced the portal on the sponge and then hit the red button from the right side. What?
That's something you can do.
That's crazy. So the items can interact with one another?
Yeah, some of
or
them
some of them, yeah.
You can bounce stuff off the sponges. I don't think you're supposed to know that at this point. So I think Boomerang like found like a swag move.
Got crafty. His inner game dev was coming out.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think you're supposed to do that, but at least in 1 or 2 levels you are actually supposed to know about that and do that.
Nice. I like how it's like, so I was just gonna say, like, man, it gets really tricky when you get into a situation where like, okay, I can literally pick up this portal and put it anywhere, but you know, like, okay, here's that laser beam in the bottom left, so obviously, and a switch down there, so obviously I need to somehow get that portal. Like, there might be more I need to use the portal for, but my immediate thought is like, I gotta chuck the portal down here, because I just know I'm gonna have to do something with it right there, and obviously, yeah, trigger the switch here.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked up on that, because that's like these little like fixed points in the level that you have to try to communicate to the players. Like, that was one of the main challenges when designing these levels. You have to make them open enough so that you can like that you have to figure out like, okay, I might have to do this or I could do this, but at the same time you have to gate off like possibilities the player's not supposed to take. So
right.
Like when you go like, okay, I want the player to throw the portal in there, then you have to make sure that there's like no sequence break. You have to make sure that the player throws the portal there and knows to do that, but maybe like they'll just throw it over there and then skip the entire level. Like there were actually like levels I spent like 2 or 3 hours designing and testing, and I was like, oh no, wait, you can cheese it this way, so I have to add like a wall. Oh no, now you can cheese it this way, so I have to add like a laser barrier, and I have to do this. And then I did it all, and I'm like, okay, now this level is waterproof. And then all you had to do was like spear up a wall that I didn't add like metal to, and you could just reach the exit. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm gonna sleep on that, come back tomorrow, because obviously my brain's not working anymore.
Yeah.
But
Man,
yeah, like little spots like the bottom left, as you said, with the laser, I added those to make clear what you were supposed to do, at least at that point, because there's no way you're gonna get down there. And that's the only way to trigger that switch is by using the portal. So those are like little ways I try to teach players using the environment to give them like a little bit of help, like in certain spots that you go like, okay, I have to throw it there and then this and that, so that you have like a little bit of guidance, because otherwise it would just be like a free-for-all, and that can get frustrating when you have like no inkling of where to start even, you know?
Yeah, like I feel like it's like a solid clue, but without like totally giving you the solution, you know? Like it's just a good hint and a good like, here's something to try. That's like Turd saying like I'm acing the platforming here. So kind of what we were talking about earlier. You have like the puzzle mode for like, hey, okay, I don't quite have the platforming chop. So yeah, I was struggling with that yellow switch there too. You gotta like have perfect timing on that.
So yeah, Boomerang, like enable puzzler mode, there's no penalty. Like I mentioned that before on the stream. There's no penalty in doing that. You can still unlock all the achievements. Like the game's not gonna laugh at you. I'm not gonna laugh at you. So like if the
I
platforming is
will
too
though.
tricky or annoying, just like enable it.
I will laugh at you though. That's what the Discord's for. No, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna laugh about you in private, like in DMs.
Yeah.
That's all Kevin does, man.
Yeah, just like, man, have you seen so and so playing Spear? Terrible.
Yeah.
Can't even beat the bonus levels.
Yeah, he's always like, get a load of this guy.
Now let's see. Do you think? Oh, okay. I didn't think I was gonna be able to hit that from here. Sniper. This isn't Spear. We got Sniper DX going on. Sniper Elite. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Nice. I was thinking I didn't collect the emblem yet, but I got it. But yeah, it is a really nice touch not having that, like, the player be penalized in terms of, like, achievements and stuff for using... Because it can, like... Yeah, that can just, like, it kind of encourages you to not turn that stuff on if you feel like, oh, but it's not going to be the real game, you know, or something, you know? So it's cool that you just don't get punished at all.
And I'm that kind of player that
Me
wants
too.
to have, like, the whole experience, like, the full one.
The way the developer intended it, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And when I feel like, yeah, I'm, like, cutting out parts of the game or, like, circumventing them or something, I just don't do it. Like, I just want to play the game as it is presented and how it was intended to be played. And so, yeah, I probably wouldn't have turned on, like, any assistance if that meant, like, locking you out of achievements or, like, levels or whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, I learned that the hard way, too, like, as a kid, because one of the first games I ever played was Mickey Mouse and Castle of Illusion on the Mega Drive.
Yeah, yeah.
And in that game, you had difficulty settings, but if you picked easy, you couldn't actually beat the game. Like, the game stopped short after, like, 3 or 4 levels or something.
Really?
And then, yeah, and then you just got a message saying, like, yeah, to see the rest of the game, like, play on normal.
Okay.
And, like, I was, like, 4 years old at the time, so I was like, okay, like,
Yeah, what's even happening? Right, right.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't help that I didn't understand it because it was in English, and I was like a 4-year-old German kid, so I had no idea what it said. And my dad was playing with me, and he's like, yeah, I have no idea what that says either. but then we looked it up, and it was like, okay, now we have to play on normal. And it was doable, and we managed to do it, but that was kind of a dick move, you know, they give you a taste, but then it's like, oh yeah, you noob, gotta pick normal, like, to beat the entire game.
Yeah, that's not the real game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's Babby's first game, man.
And those games were hard. Some of those games were hard. Those Mickey games back in the day, they weren't like you know, just because they were Disney games, they weren't a cakewalk.
Oh no, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, games in general back in the day, they could be like brutal. They were like, yeah, we got your money. Like, we don't care.
That's so true. Yeah.
Also, like, if you know what you're doing, you can beat this thing in like 20 minutes. So we're just gonna have to stretch it out by having you die over and over.
Right, or it was just, especially in America, I know they occasionally made like the rental, or because of the rental market, they made like the games even harder because it was like, okay, we can't have kids renting Contra and beating it in one night and then being done with the game.
Yeah, we gotta sell our stuff. So you know what? We're gonna like take Streets of Rage 3. We're gonna make like the Japanese hard setting the default setting in the West. And just make it overall harder so that people have to buy it in order to beat it. So they can like bang their heads against the wall. And I think actually the second stage in the Lion King game, if you ever played that.
I've played that a lot. It's a very hard game.
Yeah, that's the level with the like, with the hippos and the giraffes where they like
bounce
you around the level and you just have to find like the one path to get through it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I remember hearing that they added that just to like stretch out the game a bit. So that people would get stuck like really early on so that they wouldn't beat it on like a single rental or something like that.
Interesting.
I might be wrong on that, but I do remember hearing about that somewhere. I don't know how true
I wouldn't
that
be
is,
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised based on what I've seen. Oh, this is genius. I've been sitting here thinking like, how do I get by here? This is genius. Let's go. This is awesome. Now I just got to make sure I don't accidentally miss this. Let's go up the other side.
Happy landings, man. Happy landings on your Spear.
I love it. That's so cool. Oops.
Yeah,
There we go.
When you want to teach players like a certain mechanic or something like that, you have to try to do that in isolation. So you have to make clear that this is the only way forward. Like you have to know to do this. You have to learn this, and that's not always easy. But like this stage, perfect example. Like there's no way to get out of this like metal cage without using the gem, without figuring out how to use this gem.
Right.
So that's something that you have to keep in mind as a level designer, because otherwise people might never discover like a certain mechanic, and then 5 levels later, when they have to know about this mechanic, they just won't know.
They never
They're just gonna be
internalized
stuck.
it. Yeah. And then just get
Exactly.
frustrated, quit the game, maybe even leave a bad review like, oh, this game's broken, or, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, they're right to think that, because like if you just don't know, and if the game doesn't communicate that you can do a certain thing, then yeah, you're just gonna be like, okay, how do I get past this? And I've played games before where I'm like totally stuck because I just didn't figure out that you could like blow open this wall, or you could do like this certain move or whatever. So
Yeah.
as a game designer, as a level designer, you really have to like think about that stuff and how to teach players all the things. You could just add like tutorial messages, but I personally hate tutorial messages.
Me too. You and me
Like,
both.
I'm too old school for that. I mean, I use them in modern games because in some games you just have to explain stuff. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like 1,000 mechanics and you need like 20 buttons. But like generally, I try to avoid them. I'm a bit annoyed that I had to add like text tutorials in this game, but there was just no real way to ensure that players know about the puzzler mode, that they know about the checkpoints, because that's not really something you can like explain via gameplay.
Right.
And I just wanted to make sure that they realized it was there, especially since it was a lot of work to get those checkpoints to work. So I had to add it, but in general, I just try to avoid like overt tutorializing. And by
Yeah.
the way, pro tip, use the checkpoints, because the gems, like, it's really easy to fuck those up,
Yeah.
as you've noticed. So
Yeah.
that was like one of the big complaints about the game that people had. They were like, yeah, I've played like 20 minutes through an entire level, and then I just like yeeted a gem off like a ledge, or
Yeah.
I just threw my spear slightly the wrong way. and I
Like
had
just
to
a
reach
little
back
too
down
high and
over.
I can't reach it. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was like, maybe they could respawn, but that would like break the entire level, and that would like.
Yeah, then it's like less puzzly, unless you could like lock them up somehow. But yeah, it's definitely starts to get tricky there for sure.
Exactly, and then the easiest solution was just like to implement checkpoints.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna like use a gem, and you know it's gonna be tricky, just place a checkpoint, then you can like try again as much as you want.
Yeah. I think I might have messed this up because yeah, okay, I wasn't sure for a second. I was like, does the gem spear stay there infinitely? But definitely not.
No, like you only have one spear, and I wanted to have like an animation that it like flies back into your hand, but that added too much of a delay.
Yeah, because
I
it's
want it
it's
to
so
be, like,
snappy how
instant.
like as soon as you throw a new one, the old one disappears. It's like it's so
Yeah,
snappy.
Exactly. I wanted to keep up the flow of gameplay. I didn't want people to have to wait for like the spear to return to your hand or something like that. So I was like, yeah, it's quite obvious that you only have one spear. I did have the idea of adding like a power-up that you can have like multiple spears, but I never got around to implementing that.
That could be cool, or if you ever get around to like a sequel or anything like it's definitely could add a whole nother layer. Not even a sequel or necessarily, but it's just almost a whole nother mechanic. Like if you could collect more spears, kind of like similar to the game that Kevin Cole made from Super Try for the Game Jam. Like you kind of kept picking up those blocks, and like you get more. Now you can solve new puzzles, or get up this path a different way. I thought that game was genius.
It was, man. It was, and it came out of left field. Like,
Yeah.
we're sitting there in the Discord, like sweating away at our games, and everybody kept posting like updates and stuff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Kevin Cole just drops by and goes like, "Oh yeah, here's my game, by the way. Bye."
Yeah, he's like, oh, I got a late start, didn't have any time for the first few days. We just got some music in, and like that's it. And then like all of a sudden, it's just like, oh, wait a second, this game is just like a full-fledged like mini Metroidvania, like not missing any elements,
Yeah, I was like, I didn't
shit.
even know he joined the jam, Like, I didn't hear a peep from him, and then just suddenly he just like this drive-by release. He just drops by, goes like, here's my game. Sorry, it's kind of shit. We didn't have time, and leaves. I'm like, okay. And
Yeah,
I
I'm
look
like,
at it and I go like, yeah, okay, that looks amazing. And then I saw the like core mechanic in the GIF, and I was like, okay, that's genius. And I played the game, and I was like, yeah, this is a genius game.
yeah, brilliant and
yeah,
so stylish. Like I really like the art style.
yeah, it looked great, it sounded great,
Yeah, not
it had like really interesting puzzles, and I got stuck a lot.
yeah, same
Like
here.
my brain just refused to like cope with it.
Same exact thing here.
I mean, Kevin's insane.
Yeah, his stuff is just nuts.
Yeah, and I knew that like before going in, but I didn't know he was like in the jam, and then suddenly he just drops this absolute banger, and I'm like, okay.
It's like here's a perfect video game for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, shit. I thought I could. Okay, so I feel like. Guess I can't make that jump. So I feel like I need to use this to get up here. Now the question.
It's getting really tricky now.
Yeah, it's
Now,
definitely.
like almost all the elements are in place now,
Yeah,
so there's a lot of options. Levels are getting bigger to account for all these items and mechanics that you
Yeah,
have to exploit.
filling up the full screen like before. Yeah, like a good chunk of the screen was like filled with borders before. You know.
And now I had to make use of like every inch that I could. And I actually ran into issues where I would like hit the edge of the screen, but I couldn't make the levels any smaller without like sacrificing a puzzle or two.
Shit. That was it right there, I think. I don't know if that's the real solution, but it could have worked. There we go. Okay. Chuck that through. A little lower. I like that little, just how the spear, you like instantly know, like, okay, I missed it. Like as soon as it turns red.
Yep. And
Okay.
it disappears.
Ah, shit.
And you hear a little sad trombone sound in your head.
Yeah. I feel like I'm missing something. Like, I'm doing something slightly wrong here. I'm not sure what.
It's super interesting for me because I do have to like think alongside you because I don't really remember the solutions to most of these stages.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
played through them like 2-3 months ago, but already my mind's just drawing a blank, and I'm like, yeah, maybe you have to like do this, like.
Yeah. But that's and again, it's not, even though there are, like we were talking about earlier, like there are kind of some prescribed solutions, like ideally in some cases, but it's not like 100% like this is the only way to beat this level. There's very much a little bit of flexibility for you to finesse it a little bit.
Yeah, there's always one intended path, but there's usually at least one more that I just didn't think of. Or maybe I did, and I was like, yeah, you know what, it's good enough, like it's not too easy, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing how many ways people like found to break the game, to break the levels.
Yeah, people are nuts with what they can figure out game-wise. Okay, so
Yeah.
where?
And,
like-
and as a designer, it's just that you get stuck in like a certain way of thinking. So you're just focused on this thing, like, okay, I have to find a way not to like make this sponge exploitable. And then somebody rolls up and just like uses a switch to open the door that they weren't supposed to open yet, and you're like, yeah, okay, I've never thought about the switches. I was too focused on everything else.
Yeah.
So you really need like a lot of testing and have to go through the levels over and over again to like really iron out most of the like issues, oversights and all that. But even then, there's just gonna be so much stuff in the game that I've never seen, that I've never found, that wasn't intended, but people are just gonna find it and exploit it anyway.
Right, right. It's got to be like cool to see, but also, yeah, it's still frustrating when you're like, ah, man, how did I not see that bug, or how did I not see that coming, or, you know.
Yeah, and game dev is hard enough as it is, you know. So it's even worse when you're like sabotaging yourself,
Right.
just being an idiot.
Like, part of me thinks I just need to, like, jump, shoot, and turn around. Ah, so close. I still don't that doesn't feel quite like what I'm supposed to do, but... Oops. Well, botch that. Let's try that again. Okay. The question is... high money. I mean, I think that's just a reference to getting the emblem.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's not necessarily a tip for me to help me on this stage.
Nope.
And my thought is, like, the only way I'm going to get that is by getting a spear over on the other side with the sponge and then bouncing up there while it's on the spear. Because, like, the other thing I was thinking is, like, unless I can bring the gem over there and bring a spear, you'd still need the sponge, and, like, there's no way. You got to use that gem earlier.
Like, you do need the sponge at the end, like, to get the emblem. I do know that. So if you want that, you'll have to bring the sponge along.
And you know I want that emblem.
Oh, yeah, you do.
You know I want that emblem. I don't know what it is about platformers, but I'm just like, I need 100%. I just need it.
Yeah, same here.
Or at least I gotta try. Again, well, kind of like what we were talking about earlier. It is what kind of makes it, like, essentially, like, the harder mode here, which, again, not that I'm always going for the hardest game I can play, but, So I wonder if I can, like, throw and jump immediately. Let me try that, because I keep trying to jump and then throw. Oh, shit. Here we go. Okay.
I'm gonna be honest here, I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to beat this. But somebody has beaten it, so there is definitely a way. But I'm kind of stuck myself right now.
Chaotic's like, I get 100% through the first 3 levels and then give up. I do that often as well. I start out with that intention, and then I'm like, oh, okay, like, now this is just way too hard. But this still feels like doable. It feels like I just gotta figure it out. What were you about to say? I feel like I cut you off a little bit there, Ando.
No, it's fine. I'm just trying to think how to approach this. Because I do remember the latter half of the puzzle, like, of the level. I know how to beat that, but I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to get there.
Yeah. Ugh! Like, it's just barely too high there.
Yeah, I don't think that's the intended way, but
Can I make this jump? I feel like I can't, but I feel like...
Maybe you can?
And I know I can make it with the sponge, but I can't bring it with me. Ah. And there's no way to, like, try it again. Oops.
I mean, you could place a checkpoint.
That's true, that's true. Yeah, this might be a good time to plop one. But then I'm like, I don't even know if that's the right... I feel like that has to be the first thing to do, but I just, like, I'm like, I just don't know.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm wondering about, too, because there's not really any other way to get up there.
Yeah.
Without using the gem, so...
Yeah.
That has to be, like, the first step.
Yeah. And because, yeah, you can't make it all the way up the other wall, and you can't, well, no, yeah, you could, there's no way, because you can't get the sponge earlier.
There's no better way to feel dumb than getting stuck in your own game.
Just like, I don't know, that would make me feel extra clever. And I mean, unless you're just like, whoops, I made an unsolvable level, but I don't think that's the case here.
I don't think it is either, because people have beaten the game.
Like 100%ed it and everything, yeah.
Yeah, they at least got past this stage without skipping it, so it is beatable, and I beat it myself in testing. I just can't for the life of me remember how.
Yeah, it is kind of baffling. Like, part of me is like, can I throw the sponge? You can't throw it straight up, right? I'm like, maybe I can throw it up and spear it through, but that still doesn't help me out in clearing the gap or anything.
You can throw it, and you can spear it while it's in the air, but you can't throw it straight up. You can only, like, throw it forward or just drop it.
Okay. So I can hit it from here.
Chat, help us out. Help the dev of the game figure his own game out. I have no idea what I was thinking. hello there.
Yeah, what the heck?
Does that help us?
I don't, like, yeah. Part of me, I was like, oh, the spear's gonna stay in the wall there. No, of course not. Let's see. Well, that definitely doesn't help. Yeah, there's no other way to get up here. There's just no other way. Chaotix, like he's already too far along for me to help out with that collectible. Oh, shit. Idiot. Part of me had a thought, but still, no, you wouldn't be able to get the sponge that way. Okay.
This is the point where the panic starts to set in a little bit, because you're like, wait a minute, did I F this up? Like, did I forget to add, like, an item?
Yeah.
Okay, like, maybe place a checkpoint before you, like, drop down again, just so we're... Because, I mean, that has to be the way. Like, I don't think you can get up there and get the sponge any other way.
Oh, and it looks so close that I can make that jump, but I really don't think you can. It's definitely not the intended way.
No, if it was intended, it wouldn't be that close.
Yeah, yeah.
You do have to communicate to players that you can make that jump.
Oh, but you can now. There we go.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's exploiting the coyote time.
No, and then I just die like a fucking idiot. Forgot to hit the switch again to... Oh my god. Okay, but at least we know it can be done. Yeah, talk about that coyote time.
That's still not the intended way, I'm pretty sure.
I'm positive this is not the intended way. Oh,
what
shit.
the hell was I thinking? Like, what did past me know that
Oh.
I don't know?
And then that snipe, yeah, even that felt like there's no way it was that tight.
Yeah,
Okay.
the snipe is intentional, actually. I think
Oh,
that was
really?
the intended way, yeah.
Damn, okay. And then you gotta not only do all this, and then you gotta make sure you don't accidentally exit the stage.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm also slightly concerned that Spear Dude seems to be transparent, kind of. He's a bit translucent.
Oh, I sort of see that right now, too. Yeah, just a little bit. Oh.
Why? Like, why is that happening?
Could be my TV or something. Let's see.
No, that is in the game, and
How about now?
have-
Back to normal?
uh,
Looks back to normal, I think, now that we cleared the stage.
Okay.
I think, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I have no idea what
what-
would have caused that.
Yeah, like for the longest time I thought I was seeing things, or maybe it was some weird compression artifact or something like that, but no, you were translucent. I have no idea why. That's another one for the list.
Let's see, can I make this jump? I don't think so. I think I need the spear. Huh. Oh, I see. Overthinking this. Or no, but I gotta hit the switch first. That would help the cause.
Like when I went back to the
Shit.
game to add like new levels, like I already told you at the beginning of the stream, I got like really stuck in a lot of levels, just thinking like, what was I doing? And now looking at like this level and the other ones, I really have to say, like, I don't know how I managed to create so many levels back in the day, and relatively painlessly too. Like, it's not like I spent like half a year on the levels or something like that. I
Yeah.
have no idea how I did that. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to do that again.
Yeah, this game is like, no question about it, like, is jam-packed. Like, there's just so many levels and like again, yeah, so many like clever ideas, and like, it's no messing around. Like, it is like a full-blown, fully fledged video game. I mean, there's no getting around it.
There is a lot of content, and I have no idea how I managed to like come up with all that stuff. And you're translucent again, by the way.
Oh, weird. Yeah.
I do feel like that's some leftover debug stuff. Like when something triggers, like when you do a certain move or something like that, that you turn transparent for whatever reason. I'll have to dig through the code to figure that out, but yeah, it's weird.
Maybe it's
At least it doesn't impact gameplay.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's something like maybe after I like turn green or something, like some kind of leftover like filter from that effect or something, maybe.
Yeah, maybe the alpha value isn't reset properly. Maybe it's like a shader thing. I don't know. I'll have to look this up. But, oh yeah, okay. I think it is related to the gem. Like it's related to turning green.
Yeah.
I'll have to take another look at the code because most of the stuff is like left unchanged. Because I was looking at the code I wrote like 4 years ago, and I'm like, okay, what the hell? What the hell am I looking at?
Yeah.
So I didn't want to mess with it too much, but yeah, I'll have to look that up. Although maybe that's like a new edition. I don't know if that happened in the original game.
Yeah.
This is the first time I noticed.
Shit, I locked myself off with that little portal again.
Yeah, unlucky throw.
Yeah. I'm not even.
And that's something like I'm kind of like bummed out that it happened to you, and I'm thinking like I should have prevented that from happening somehow. But then again, like if I make it too linear and too handholdy, then the game loses kind of its appeal, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, I wouldn't really know how to fix that. Because if I removed the little wall there, you could just hit the spear, the switch, like with your regular spear. You wouldn't need the teleporter.
Yeah,
So yeah, I don't
into
even
it.
know how I'd fix that. But
Yeah, the only way, like, I guess if you had, like, everything in the game, if it was, like, a little more, like, snapped to a grid, you could maybe do something like that, but then the platforming wouldn't be able to feel so dynamic and snappy, so
Exactly.
it'd be a totally... You'd be sacrificing the expressiveness of the controls. I mean, not like we're controlling, like, Mario here, but it's still, you definitely have some, like, ability to kind of, like, finesse around, and, like, you feel very nimble. There you go. Oh, and now I can just go up this wall. Okay, I was like, how the hell am I going to get back up there? Okay. Now, oh, okay, and it turns off the laser. Yes, okay. So I was trying to think. I was like, how am I going to get... Dang it.
getting the emblem in this one is going to be tricky.
Yeah.
I think.
I feel like I'm feeling confident about it, because I feel like I have at least a vague idea of something to try. Yeah, I just got to get that there. And then I got to hit the green again and then the red, maybe? Maybe red, then green? Yeah, there we go. Oh, I don't even need to hit the green again. Snipe it. There it is. Oh, shit. Just gotta... Oh, now's a good time to leave a checkpoint. There we go. Oh, shit. No. Oh, I can throw... Oh, no! I was... Oh, I got the checkpoint, though. I was just thinking I was going all the way back. Oh, and it keeps the spear collectible. Nice. Or the emblem collectible.
Oh yeah, yeah. I realized that you could even like collect the thing and then die and just reload from a checkpoint and it stays collected, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna leave that in, whatever.
Yeah, I think that's usually the right move. Like, unless it's... Especially in this game, like, with it being a single screen thing, there's not really a huge way to cheese it, so...
Exactly.
That feels like the right move to me.
I mean, I'm like you in the way that I always want to 100% platformers, like I want to get all the collectibles and stuff, and sometimes that can get really, really annoying, because you do have games and then you do have levels where you have to do like a lot of extra stuff just to get the emblem, and then you can still die like,
Right.
before the goal, and it does get tedious and annoying after a while. And there were times where I wish, like, come on, just stay collected. Like, I don't want to have to go through all this effort again just to
Right.
get this special thing first, only to die at like the last spike pit.
Right.
So I decided to just leave it in. Like, if you get the emblem, you got it. It's fine. Like even if you die, just try to beat the level.
Like, you know you can get it at this point. It's not, you're not proving anything to anybody, you know.
Exactly. You figure out the way to get it, and you manage to get it, and then yeah, you slipped up, but so what? You know.
Right, right. Okay, now
Like I don't want to kick you in the balls. Like the game should be a bit punishing, but I don't want to be like
yeah,
an asshole
difficult,
about it.
difficult but fair. You never want to feel like it's like unfair, or you know, you don't want to feel like you're getting like trolled by the game, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like there are troll games out there, and if they make their intentions clear, that's like perfectly fine. Like I want to be the guy or something
Right,
like that.
right, exactly.
But I'm just not making this kind of game. Like, and I don't really want to. I don't think I'd be very good at that.
Yeah, and
Because
it's
I always try to make the games like fun and accessible and stuff. So like, make it like a super hard game, like screw the player game. I don't think I could do that actually.
yeah, they're not. Every now and then I'll find one that's like kind of fun, but they're just addictive. Like you just get compulsively addicted to like, I gotta figure out how to get past this part, and it's like I'm not even having fun really. I'm just like obsessively trying to beat this game that like doesn't matter if I beat it or not, you know.
Yeah, you basically just want to fight back.
Exactly. Yeah, it
You
is
just want to
kind of.
prove it you want to prove yourself that you can do it,
Yeah.
and then you just put way too much energy and effort into it and get frustrated and annoyed, and then you finally beat it and you're like, was that really
Was that worth it at all? Yeah, no, not even close.
Yeah, and then you go on YouTube and you see somebody speedrunning the whole thing in like 10 minutes while playing on a banana.
It's so
It's
true.
Like it's the Dark Souls thing, you know? You're like struggling with your Souls game and you die to a boss like 30 times, and then you look it up on the web and you got people going like, oh yeah, this is like a super easy boss, you just have to like turn around, do this and that. Like I did it like 500 times on stream last night, like playing with a Fisher-Price controller.
Yeah. Leave it to, like we were saying earlier, leave it to the speedrunners to just make you feel like a total clown when it comes to gaming.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes you can like copy strats, but like most of the time you're like, okay, yeah, no, these guys trained like 5 years just to beat this one level,
Yeah.
so there's no way I'm gonna be able to copy that. Like you can like check out sequence breaks and maybe some moves and stuff, but like the level of proficiency and just like determination that you need to really speed run a game at a like competitive level, it's insane, man. It's admirable, like I love it, but I'd never be able to do that, I don't think.
Yeah, it's crazy how good people get at games. Like it's just kind of nuts. Whoops. That'll work. Not as intended, but I really like how you can spear the sponge like into the wall and then still use it as a sponge platform.
Yeah, you're supposed to do that a couple times.
Yeah, it's such a cool. It's like feels really, really satisfying. Like you feel for whatever reason, it just feels like particularly clever. Like you're just like, oh yeah, what a cool solution to that puzzle.
Yeah, and those are like the best moments in puzzle games.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Like, and I do like that in like platformy puzzle games, or like puzzle games that also have like action gameplay in them. Like not puzzle games in terms of like Sudoku, but stuff like this or Zelda or whatever, where
Yeah.
you have like items and stuff, and you figure out a new way to use that item, and it just opens up like so many possibilities, and you're like, oh wow, I can like spear the sponge to the wall. So like in that one level that I couldn't get past, I could do that, and then maybe
Right.
I can get like the emblem. And
Right.
that's also good game design to me personally. Like
I-
give players the tools to explore, to figure out like new pathways, new ways to play the game, without being too handholdy, without being too obscure or obtuse, you know?
Yeah. We're definitely on the same wavelength there for sure.
And I do always try to get that balance right, but it's not easy at all.
No, it's definitely. I mean, there's even games that I really, really enjoy and like a lot, but I'm just like, it's just, it misses the mark on like on the balance of difficulty. Like the mechanics are cool, but like the whole package it's just like a little too hard or something. Whatever the reason, whether it's too hard or too easy or whatever. There's a million reasons. It's that getting a game to be balanced just right is damn near impossible.
It is, yeah. And you need a lot of testing, which you know, as an indie dev, like as a solo dev, is not really easy to accomplish because you don't have like a QA department,
Yeah.
and you don't want to send out your game to too many people because then you're just like giving sales away,
Right.
basically. But I do like try to involve people that have been really supportive, that are really fans, and I ask them like, yeah, hey, yo, I'm working on something new. You want to test it maybe?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like my patrons, I got a Patreon that I like send early builds to test.
Nice. Yeah, it's good to be able to get that feedback, especially from like your people that you know are like, you know, your fans and like looking forward to playing more of your stuff.
Yeah, and you kind of know like when people are on the same wavelength. Like you're definitely like a guy that I'd send early builds to for testing, although there's always the risk to send streamers something to test because like the game might break down in like the first
Right.
5 minutes, and then it's like, okay, that was a bad first impression.
Right, yeah. But yeah, it's like it's that double-edged sword because you definitely want to get some feedback, but you you don't want them to just write off the game because of a bug that you're trying to, for the whole reason you're sending the game out is to maybe try to figure out, find bugs like that so that players don't run into them after they buy the game,
Yeah, it's the old creator's dilemma. Like you want to get your stuff out there, but you don't want to get your stuff out there. Like you want people to play your game, and to stream your game and to like, talk about your game, but you also don't want them to play it just because you're scared shitless.
Right,
Like
right.
of all the things that could go wrong and all the stuff that they might find like boring or bad or offensive or whatever. So it's like, I really don't want anybody to play my games, but I also really want you to play my game.
Right. It's gotta be a tough thing to juggle, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it's mainly just the thing of like getting to a point where you are relatively like sure that nothing major can go wrong. But
Yeah.
even then, you never know, man. You never know. Like, I mean, even you found like 2 bugs in your playthrough right now, and they're minor bugs. Like, fortunately, like knock on wood. But even you, like, after I spent so much time working on this, and this is like just like an extended version of a game that I already tested like 4 years ago.
No!
Okay, that's gonna be fun. Hold on.
Oh no!
There we go. Okay,
I
now
missed
I know where
the,
that no came from.
look at that blemish. Look at that blemish. We gotta go back.
You got like a zit.
I know.
You got
I
like
was
a zit on your level select screen.
and I was already doing it wrong anyways. Like the solution I had was already wrong, and I was like, oh well, I'll cheese my way out of here. And then the game was just like, no, we're not gonna give you that bullshit puzzle solution you got going on there.
Touched the portal. You've touched the exit. Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I know. Too close. This is a cool level. Oh shit. Oh no, I can still get up there though. Nice. But I feel like I cut you off and that you were in the middle of saying something, and then it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, that was amazing though, especially since I didn't see what you were doing, so I had to wait like 5 seconds.
Yeah, that delay is kind of fun.
Yeah, it is, because I just hear you like scream like from the bottom of your soul, and I'm like, oh boy, what's he done now?
Yeah, I hope I botched it again there.
Yeah, and I knew you were like close to the exit, so I was like, yeah, maybe he touched it, and yep, sure enough, you did.
Yep. That's funny. But I like how that's like adds a extra challenge too. Like even the stage exit pretty much only if you're going for the collectibles, but it's like an obstacle in and of itself. That's cool.
Yeah, pretty much. And I thought about doing like that you have to press up to like activate it, but I was like, yeah, it's not really that much of an issue, and especially it only triggers when you land on the exit. I think it's not when you touch it like in midair. You have to be on the ground for it to trigger.
Okay,
So,
nice.
yeah, it might be like a nice little extra like micro challenge basically, if you're going for the emblems. And even then, like there's not many levels where the emblems are hidden behind the exit, so that you have to dodge it basically.
Yeah. See,
And yeah, that screwed you over.
I don't know what to do here. Like I feel like what I'm supposed to do is get another spear to climb this wall here, but I don't know that would
I mean, the second gem is there for a reason, and
Yeah, it's like, you know it's there to get this this piece. Like, you know it's there for that, but I don't know how
yeah. And I actually don't think you need it. I think you can just like jump down with a sponge and then like stick it into the left-hand wall.
That's what I'm thinking too.
And then you can probably reach the emblem from there, which is not the entirely intended way, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, it works. There we go.
I just stick it like you can stick a spear in the wall, put the sponge on top, and then just jump up there.
Now we just gotta pray I don't land on the portal again. There we go. Yes. There we go. World complete. Beautiful.
Wow, you're like blasting through this.
Breezing
I mean,
through, baby.
you still have like 2 worlds ahead of you, but
I'm a
that's
gamer,
impressive,
man.
especially since you did get all the emblems.
I'm a gamer, man. I tell people all the time. No, I'm just kidding, but I do think it's funny. Like, there's sometimes, oh, I like this. Yeah, I definitely haven't seen any of this. I love this, like, magenta world or whatever. This is pretty great. So yeah, we're definitely gonna get into some more challenging stuff here. I'm just sipping on a little more coffee here. Yeah, how you doing over there, Ando?
I'm fine. I'm watching some guy online play Spear.
Love it, love it. Let's see. I'm guessing I can't. Oh, is it like covered in honey? I mean, maybe it's not honey, some kind of slime.
Yeah, it's covered in something. I don't know. It's the slime from Ghostbusters 2 with the wrong color, maybe. I don't know.
I love it. Just like
it's like off-brand Nickelodeon gag.
Yeah, this is a gack, man. I haven't thought about that in ages. This is cool. This is a mechanic that I actually hadn't even. I've seen this world and like I remember seeing this outline or these like kind of magenta dots and stuff. But I don't know if I ever like registered that like slippery sliding down mechanic. That's really cool.
Yeah, that adds like another layer of platforming challenges basically, because you really have to be quick.
Yeah. Okay, and then I got explosive arrows that I can get. This is awesome. And obviously we know what we got to do with this. Well, I shouldn't say obviously, but... Ah, shit! Okay, yeah, I got to remember to set those checkpoints now that we're getting into some heftier levels here. Boom.
Yeah, just remember that the gems are like the main reason I added checkpoints, because that was the only way I could figure out to like make it a bit easier to use them and less frustrating.
Yeah.
Because I really tried hard to make them like respawn, and I was like, maybe they could only respawn when the game like realizes that you're in this area and that you need the gem or whatever, but that would have been so much effort, and I would have like...
And like possibly even more confusing, because you're like, wait, what is this? How is that working? Like, what's going on? Like sometimes like
exactly
my brain, if I like, even if it's something dumb where it like doesn't even matter if I know how it works, I'm still just like sitting there trying to figure it out. Like, why is that working that way? I don't understand. And then it just like breaks my brain, and then I can't solve the simple puzzles because I'm trying to, you know, think of some other thing. Oh shit. Oh, that was poor. Oh, okay, I can go this way.
The rules of the game have to be consistent in order for players to figure it out, because they have to trust in the rule set, they have to trust like their moves, they have to trust what they can do in order to figure out the solution. And if it seems random, then you're like, yeah, I don't know how to approach this, because like anything could be the solution.
Right, exactly.
And like if I had the gem respawn like sometimes but not always, I would have had to make very clear like why this gem's respawning now, why this one isn't, and there was just no feasible way to do that. Like, it would just be like a free-for-all. People would be like, okay, yeah, this one respawned, this one didn't. Guess it's a bug.
Right, exactly, yeah.
And then they wouldn't even know what was the bug. Like, is it a bug that they respawn? Is it a bug that one didn't respawn? And so I just didn't find a feasible way, and I didn't want to like take the gems out completely, because that's like basically the entire latter half of the game.
It's a really cool mechanic. Both gem types. Like, it's cool to, like, you know, it's still puzzly, but it's a totally different type of puzzle compared to, like, breaking down these walls with, like, the TNT or whatever earlier, you know?
Yeah, because now your spear has powers.
Right.
And that's, like, another approach entirely.
Yeah,
So
all of a sudden
that's
it's like kind of a weapon, even though there's no enemies to kill or whatever. But you kind of have like a weapon at your disposal now. I guess the spike guys are kind of enemies, like just barely. The ones that you can like
Yeah,
jump
but
on after you shoot them.
Yeah, but there are also platforms that you need to use, and the only enemies in the game are just obstacles, like the round guys, like the bouncing ones, and the one on the rail. You can't hurt them, you can't defeat them. You just have to like get past them. So they're basically just moving obstacles.
Yeah,
Because this is not like an action game. This is not like an action platformer. It's just about puzzling. So I didn't want to have any combat, something like that in the game. It wouldn't have fit.
yeah, I agree. Because it is nice to just be like, anytime that you feel like you don't know what to do, you can just be like, let me take my time here. Like, there's no rush.
Yeah, I don't want there to be like any rush. It's not really a good fit for the game. Like, I don't think so, at least. I mean,
Yeah.
and if you do want to rush, you got the speedrun mode, you know?
Right, yeah.
Like, you can unlock it if you beat the game, I think, just normally. Then you got the speedrun mode, and then, yeah, you can, like, rush to your heart's content. You
Right.
got a timer and everything. Can feel pressured. Can crack under the pressure if you want.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I was sitting here trying to figure out how to do this. I think I can maybe try to get... I thought I maybe had it figured out there for a sec, but now I don't know. Huh.
Just chilling on your spear.
Yeah.
Like
Just...
20 feet in the air.
I think, you know what I think? Yeah, just top of the world, baby. Oh, shit. Not right there. Oh, that's not going to work either.
Pretty sure Top of the World is a level name that I used.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
I think so.
I'm guessing...
I mean, I did have like 125 names to come up with, so
Right. You gotta...
had to resort to cliches at some point.
Right. Shoot.
Yeah. I see what you're doing. You might be doing the right thing. I don't know.
Like, you can't throw the spike on the sponge, or the sponge on the spikes, right? Like,
Nope. You
okay.
can't.
I mean, it can go there, but you can't then land on the sponge.
Exactly, because the spikes are gonna get you.
Yeah.
And in this instance, you can't just spear the sponge out of the spikes.
Yeah. So maybe...
Which normally you could do, but like you've got a wall in the way, so...
I think I might be able to just make... Oh, well... If I don't do it like an imbecile, I think I could maybe just make it by bouncing. Like if I... Oh, I can definitely do it like this. Maybe not as intended, but I can do it. But shit. Oh no, but I can come back for the sponge. Okay. Because then, yeah, I gotta go for a ride. It takes like everything in my willpower to every time I hear... Okay, hold on though. How would I hit this without... Okay, hold on. Let's see here. Get this one. But every time I say anything about going for a ride when I'm doing a stream, it takes like all of my willpower to not do the Billy Corgan, you wanna go for a ride? I don't know if you're a Smashing Pumpkins fan at all, but I wouldn't even say I'm a fan, but I enjoyed their stuff, some of their stuff, but I feel like they should have probably hung it up a long time ago.
Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of them, so I haven't kept up with what they're putting out. But they are a very 90s band, so like I can imagine that their stuff probably doesn't work that well, especially since they're now quite a bit older.
Yeah, and I think they only have like a couple of the original members left. Like it's pretty much just like the main guy and then like whoever. Like I think the drummer might still be around, but like, and I don't know. They just keep rotating the cast out, but they do have a couple good albums. I do like some Smashing Pumpkins. I know you're a pretty big music guy, so I was like maybe you're a Pumpkins fan, but you seem to like some pretty obscure music. Like everything you ever share, I'm just like, man, I've never heard of that.
I mean, that depends. I do listen to a lot of like more well-known stuff, but I'm mostly into like metal, hard rock, punk-ish, like less well, not less the indie stuff, but like indie as a music genre, you know, like questionable content music, basically.
Yeah.
I'm not really into that, and I've never been like much of a grunge or alternative fan, because like back in the 90s, I basically just kept listening to the music my dad taught me to listen to, which was like 70s, 80s hard rock and metal.
Yeah.
So I never really got into Nirvana, the whole grunge thing, and then like Sonic Youth, Smashing Pumpkins, you know, all these alternate bands. I never really got into that, and I never really like tried to get into them. So I missed a lot of like the zeitgeist from that time.
Yeah, well, you
'Cause I
didn't
was too busy listening to the old shit.
you didn't miss much for what it's worth. So
Yeah, I mean, I did check out a couple albums and songs from Sonic Youth, and also Smashing
Oops.
Pumpkins, Depeche Mode, you know, and there's good stuff in there, but it just never really resonated with me. But I did grow up with bands like Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, ZZ Top was one of the big ones in our household. You know, my dad loves ZZ Top.
okay.
And if you grow up with like Southern rock and stuff, then I don't know, that kind of gets ingrained into your soul. At least it did for me.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Oh, are those spikes? Damn, I didn't see those.
But I mean, as for unknown stuff, I do scour like Bandcamp pretty frequently for like new metal acts, like smaller rock bands, whatever.
Yeah.
And I do tend to post about the like less known stuff, because, you know, like Limp Bizkit doesn't really need any retweets. Like everybody knows Limp Bizkit, so
Right, right.
they're not like, oh yeah man, you listen to this new band like Limp Bizkit.
Right. I don't
Although
think...
I mean, kids nowadays maybe don't know about Limp Bizkit. I don't know.
Hey, you know what? I skimmed, like, one of my friends had mentioned that, like, that new album that they put out was, like, halfway decent. And I was like, I should check this out. And I was, oh, god damn it. I was like, this actually isn't that bad. I kind of enjoyed the couple songs I skimmed. They were one of my favorite bands as, like, a kid, like, getting all my teenage angst and everything.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude, like, same here. They were, like, one of the big ones back in the day. Like,
Oh,
they
yeah.
came around at exactly the right time.
Yeah, I was, like, the perfect age for that music to speak to me. God damn it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we were all just, like, the target audience for Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, you know?
Yep.
And now I can still enjoy them. I'm not entirely sure if I enjoy them ironically or not. Like, it's
I
really
wonder
hard
that
to tell.
I wonder that sometimes too. Even when I was checking out that like newer stuff, I was like, oh, this is good. This isn't that bad. Like, and I was like, is it just better than I expected, or am I just like weirdly nostalgic for this, or what's
Yeah,
the deal here?
Exactly. Like, I have no idea, like, how, like, in what way I actually like and appreciate Limp Bizkit, but, you know, I'm having fun, and that's all that matters in the end. Like, I'm not gonna write, like, a pitchfork review or whatever.
Right.
As long as I can jam out to it, I'm like, yeah, you know what, it's fine. Like, the album's good, and considering how, I mean, Limp Bizkit and new metal in general were just, like, a music of the time, and it got out of style really quickly, and for them to make such a good album, like in 22, you know, like
Yeah.
2022, and for them to stick to their guns and just do like the same shit they've done like back in the early 2000s, and for it to still sound this good, that like deserves some kind of award.
I agree. It's like they kind of did like a 90s 2000s like rap rock record again, and it like kind of is cool. Like, it's not terrible, you know.
Yeah, like even Linkin Park, we're like, okay, we gotta experiment. We're gonna go into alt rock a bit. We're gonna have more electronica. Now we're gonna make like a pop album. But Limp Bizkit is like, oh no, fuck that, man. We're gonna party like it's 1999 again.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it just did it. It's like, yeah, you know what? Respect. I respect that.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
And honestly, with the way the way it is going, it's good to have like escapist party music.
Yeah, exactly. And it did feel like it really I should have left a checkpoint. God damn it.
I keep telling you.
I know. I should have got that spear. This is a cool level though. I really like chucking that portal through there, or chucking it through that portal, and then riding down the honey wall or whatever.
Yeah, I'm kind of proud of that. When I thought of that, I was like, oh wow, I can do that. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's a really
Like,
clever mechanic. It's almost
Yeah,
like you're almost like, man, I could design an entire game around like a bunch of these individual mechanics.
Yeah, and I mean, that's actually basically the main approach that I took. I had this mechanic. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a slippery wall, because that makes sense, you know? Like, one of the main mechanics is having to throw a spear into the wall. So it would make sense as like an obstacle or as a challenge for the spear to like slip down. So
Yeah.
that just makes sense. I'm gonna put that in, and then I just like put the walls in, play the levels, and then I get these ideas. I'm like, oh, it would be really cool if I could do this. Now I'd start thinking about like, can I implement this? Would this break anything? And I actually got excited when I like had the idea of like the surfing, like surfing down the slime wall. I was like, oh wow, yeah, I can do this. This is amazing. And I discovered that by accident, more or less, while playing around. Like, it's not like I had that in the level design doc saying like, oh yeah, and then you surf down the wall. I just discovered that by accident, and that was like one of the reasons I had fun making the levels, because I was discovering new ways. And then I'd get stuck in a level thinking like, if I could do this puzzle would be a lot more interesting. And then I just added it, you know, because I was making the game. Like, I could add whatever I wanted. And if like a bounce pad or like a new gimmick would make the game more interesting, I like try to evaluate it. Like, would it break stuff? Would it make it interesting? Would it be like useful in the long run?
Ah, come on.
And then I just put it in. So yeah, I had a lot of fun making this game, even though it did drive me insane at some points, but that's just game dev for you.
Yeah. Now, when you say you found them by mistake, were there any instances like where you found like a mechanic like through like a bug, like? Because I could see that being like, oh, I accidentally programmed something in where like the spear starts sliding down the wall, and then you're like, oh, like that's actually a cool mechanic. Or was it just something that just like truly like was just an idea that popped into your head as you played?
I mean, you're asking like 5 years after the fact.
Yeah.
But one thing,
or I guess, yeah, even just in general, whether it's, you know, in regards to this game or...
I mean, there were occasionally situations like that where I was like, oh wow, like I could do that. And then I work around it and like add stuff. In Speer, like I'm trying to remember, there was something that was originally like not intended. It was just a glitch. Then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna like add that in.
Yeah, it's like too good of a mechanic not to use, even if I didn't think of it like intentionally.
Yeah, I'm trying to like. The only thing that comes to mind right now is like if you stand in like these blocks, like the disappearing blocks that you're triggering with the switches.
Yeah.
If you stand inside them and you like hit a switch, they kill you because like they just push you out of the level, whatever.
Yeah.
And that happened to me, and I was like, okay, it would be like an interesting challenge to have to like use that, to stand like inside of one of these blocks, throw a spear at a switch, and then jump up before the switch toggles so that you land on top of the block before it kills you. And that's something that you need to do. I can't recall if you had to do this already or if that's coming up in a later level. Like, spoiler alert, but that was one of those things, because the blocks killed me, and I was like, oh wow, it would be really cool if you had to dodge them at the right time, you know?
Yeah.
And that was something that I stumbled upon by accident.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm pretty sure there was something with the gems.
I like how
gem powers.
Well, I like how you can pick up the gems. I wasn't necessarily expecting that to be able to happen there, and I was just like, well, I don't really know what else to do here, so maybe I'll try moving this thing and be like, yeah, okay, I got to put this into a safe spot to where I can pick it up. That's a really cool.
Yeah, you can carry them around, have to get them in certain spots where you need to use them.
Yeah.
And also, like, small tip, the spikes that drop down, they don't flash, so that's how you can differentiate them.
Okay, nice.
Like, the spikes usually flash, but the dropping ones, the falling ones don't, so...
Oh, there we go. Okay. What do I need to do? Just get out of the exit here. Oh! But yeah, like right here, you're like, man, if I throw... Oh yeah, place checkpoint. I was gonna say, if I mess up this spear throw, it's game over. That wasn't what I was trying to do, but works. I was trying to hit the little single platform.
Oh yeah.
But
fair enough.
It works, yeah.
No harm, no foul.
Exactly. Shit. Oh, I gotta maybe spear the sponge out of there? Yeah. Okay. Now... Yeah, these are definitely getting to be some tricky levels. Like you're.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you can beat the entire game like tonight. I mean, you could, but it would probably take like 2 more hours or something.
Yeah, like but I love that pacing of like, okay, like the game just gets like harder and harder, and now all of a sudden the levels are longer and longer, whether they're longer in duration or they just take more time to beat. Like I love that like structure of a game.
Yeah,
Oh,
you do need
shit.
escalation.
Yeah.
You need escalation, and it has to be like meaningful escalation. Like there are a lot of games, especially like shooters and like AAA action games, that just throw more stuff at you. So
Yeah.
instead of fighting like 3 enemies, you just like fight 20 or 30 or 50.
Right.
And it's the same gameplay loop, and it's not really much more of a challenge. It
It's
just
not
takes
getting any
longer.
deeper. You're not getting more invested. You're just doing it to do it. You know.
Exactly, and that can get irritating and just tiring at some point. So I do try to mix it up, have like an interesting difficulty curve, still introduce like new elements near the end of the game, so that you have like a lot of like variety.
Yeah, it keeps you wanting to finish. Because a lot of times I play like games that do get repetitive like that, even ones that I really, really like and enjoy. I'm just kind of like, okay, I get the idea here, and maybe those, maybe there's a couple mechanics I end up missing down the line, but like at the end of the day, I feel like I got the idea of what this game is trying to do, and I can move on to the next game.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. It's like I've seen everything there is to see. The only thing that remains is to do it over and over again, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm good. Like, I don't need that.
Yeah, at a certain point, it stops being all that engaging if you're just repeating, rinse and repeat,
Yeah, I mean, if the core gameplay loop is fun enough, like, that's perfectly fine. But most of the time, especially with, like, AAA games, it's not.
Yeah. But, like, even here, like, I'm still using the sponge mechanic, but, like, I'm using it in a totally different way, or I'm using these, like, spears in a totally different way. Like, this is actually... I keep hitting the wrong button to pick this up.
You can't kill yourself, by the way.
I know,
like,
I did a few seconds ago. I was
Like,
when we were in the middle of chatting, but yeah, I sniped myself.
You can impale yourself with a spear, so...
Yeah. I most certainly made that happen. Let's see. But yeah, this part here is tricky. I keep meaning to place a checkpoint when I get up there too, but...
But you figure out the general solution to that pretty quickly. I have to say, I have to commend you.
Okay, nice. I wasn't sure if I was doing it right or if I was just cheesing it, but it felt...
You're making a homemade elevator, man.
Yeah, I love it. Because at first I was like, oh yeah, I just got to throw it on top of the spikes, but then the block like went a little lower than the spikes. It's like, oh no.
Yep.
Okay, so let me put this right here. Nope. Right here. Whew, I was gonna say I forgot the checkpoint again. Well, checkpoint after I hit the target. No! Oh, you stupid fuck. There we go. Oh no. Okay, I was about to say. And I can't get the emblem. I'm gonna have to start over. But oh, almost got those sneaky spikes. You can kind of see too. There's like a little bit more. I know you said they're not flashing, but there's like a little bit more of like a red. Maybe it's just because it's solid and not flashing. But the ones that don't drop.
Yeah, I did have to differentiate them somehow, but I still wanted to have like gotcha moments, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And again, the levels are small enough where it's like you're not like getting like beat. You're not getting super frustrated by a single death, you know.
This is a tricky level, by the way. Like that's one of the ones I got stuck in while testing.
Yeah, like replaying. Like, wait, what was my intention with this level again?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, so wait, that doesn't work. Like what?
So I know I'm guessing I need to do. Not this. I can move this one. Because again, yeah, having the flexibility with the portals is kind of nuts.
Yeah, the like portable portals, they expand the possibilities by quite a lot because you can basically carry them everywhere with you, and you do have to make use of them.
Yeah, they expand the possibilities a ton. I feel, yeah. Like here, I gotta definitely bring this one with me.
I'm gonna let you figure this out. I'm gonna pop off for a quick pee break.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotta get rid of that coffee.
Yeah, I should probably do the same at some point, but I'm just hooked at the moment. So yeah, but take your time, and I'll keep chipping away. Maybe I'll be on another level or two later. And if you got to get going at any point, don't hesitate. If you got to get going too. So.
Oh yeah, sure. It's just nice for me to see that you're like in the flow of things and you don't seem to want to stop, which is like the biggest compliment you can get as like a game designer.
Yeah, it's perfectly layered, or it's perfectly designed in that way where I'm just like, oh yeah, this is just like, it just keeps you wanting to like solve the next puzzle. It's not getting, or at least for me, I'm not getting like stumped every 5 seconds and having to go, oh shit, I gotta do that again. Speaking of, I'll set a checkpoint here. But yeah, it's pretty perfect on that end.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes from here. I'll be back in like a minute or two.
Yeah, take your time, and I'll be here fumbling my way through this somehow. Okay, let's see here. Plop this here. Hit this. Okay, I think I got this one, though. Slow and tedious. Or not tedious, but slow and steady. And then I think I just have to do this. Hit that again. I was like, watch me kill myself right here. And then just bounce. There we go. Up to the top. This game would wreck your brain, chaotic. It's definitely getting way harder than what I remember, because yeah, what I remembered was very much like puzzle platforming, not so much the precision element. I mean, I knew it was a good mix of both, but man, the precision element is heavy, but the puzzle element's even heavier. The earlier bits are puzzly, but not so head-scratchy. But it's awesome. I'm really, really a big fan of this game. Ah, hold on. So I can hit that yellow. I'm going to have to hit the yellow while the balloon is there. I'm thinking. Boom. Hit the yellow, so that's open. Oh, I can actually hit the red from here, too. I don't know that I want to. Yeah, I don't really know what good that does me. Something tells me I'm going to be able to snipe the sponge and bring it over here. There it is. Okay. Shit. That'll work. All right. That'll work for me. Oh no, but I gotta have the green. Or no, I can still get it. Okay. So actually, I think I can hit this red. Hit this green. No! Okay, no, that's not what I want to do necessarily. Shit. Okay, I think if I snipe this balloon here, there we go. Perfect. Take this with me. Get this, hit it one more time, and we're on our way. Beautiful, handheld. So that's, again, maybe giving me a hint that I gotta grab this portal. Okay.
And I'm back.
Hey, welcome back. I literally beat 1 level, maybe 2 while you were gone.
That's still not bad.
Not bad, not bad. I think I beat 2, because I beat the one that, like, I've just finished. I was, like, just done with the one that you were like, yeah, this is a tricky one, and it definitely is. But I finished that one and then cleared the next one relatively quickly after that. Not to toot my own horn here, but...
Oh, it's fine. Just keep tooting.
Yeah, like I said, I am a gamer here. Shit. I don't know why, I just find it funny to call myself a gamer. I mean, obviously I play games and am a gamer, but I just like never think to like identify as a gamer. You know what I'm saying? Like when, because like if you tell someone you're a gamer, like there's so many connotations that go along with that. And I'm just like, I'd rather you just not think anything in along those things, positive or negative. But I'd just rather not have you think either or.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very loaded term, so
Yeah,
it's best to just avoid it.
Like most people are just gonna think I'm like playing Madden and Call of Duty, so I'm just like, yeah. I'd rather just not.
Exactly. That's usually what gamer means. Like at least when people around here use it.
Yeah, to like the
here
general.
It's not Madden, it's FIFA.
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, FIFA's decently big here, but it's definitely no Madden. Yeah.
Oh no, like nobody cares about Madden over here, but FIFA is like the thing to play.
Yeah, I had a couple friends who were really into FIFA. So I know I'm gonna need to bring this sponge with me if... Well, hold on. How can I hit... I can't throw this up and over. That doesn't do me any good to get the green right off the bat. Doesn't hurt me either, but... Like, I can get up here, but that doesn't do me a whole lot of good. Oh, wait a sec. Hold on. Maybe I bring this. Now we bring the red ones back. No. What I want to do is hit that yellow tile. Oh, leap of faith, not so much. I'm feeling... Okay. The question is, can I make that jump? I don't think so.
A chaotic fear, believe me, it breaks my brain too sometimes, and I made the damn thing.
Okay, that's promising here. So let's go to the right. No. There we go. Oh, shit. God damn it, I'm doing the same stupid thing again. Okay. I guess I can bring the red ones back. Yeah. And then after some reason, like my brain thinks like once I throw, or once I have like a switch activated, my brain thinks like when I throw a spear, it's gonna like make the switch disappear for some reason, and I don't know, I can't. I'm like overly cautious at times. Shoot. Gotta get this right on the lip. There we go. Okay. Now, the question is, put this down, up. No, not there. Put this here, no. Oh, God. Now let's see if this works. Yes. This is it. Get it! Oh, come on. Come on. Is it just not high enough?
The most reliable way is to, like, put a spear in the wall and then throw the sponge on top.
Gotcha, yeah, because you lose a little bit of that height when you, like, stick the spear in there. Okay, we got a new gem type, the sponge maker. Okay. Interesting. So, well, not like that. Let's see, how does this work? Is it a sponge spring? Nice. Okay, but okay, so it has to stick to regular territory or regular land. Walls. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I do.
There's just certain times where I'm just like, especially when I'm playing a game and streaming, it's just like, oh man, I just like can't think of the word right now.
And I mean, the game is taxing, and I'm actually quite surprised that you've managed to like You've been playing for like 2.5 hours.
Oh, have I
You've been
really been
breezing
playing that long?
Yeah, dude. It's like 2 hours 38 minutes.
Heck yeah.
And you're
Cruise it
still
along.
going strong.
Cruise it
That's,
along.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Like I said, yeah, don't feel obligated if you got stuff to do. I know it's 7 hours later on your end, but I'm pretty hooked. I'm going to try to at least clear this 4th zone, I think, unless I just hit a wall, which I very well may, because we're already getting to some pretty tricky levels here.
Yeah, you never know.
But I think I did about the same for Pogo Girl. I like got to like the bonus stages, and I was like, okay, this is probably a good spot for me to pause for a sec. Okay, so I think my best bet here is going to be to go quickly. Okay, let's go. Wait a little bit longer. Ah! That spear goes so fast.
Yeah, that's like another instance where the slow motion would come in handy if you need it.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Okay, hold on. This is fucking brutal. Okay. Oh, shit. Man. Okay. There's got to be a better way to time this out. How about like this? Ah, shit. I get so impatient on certain stuff. Just like, why wouldn't I wait just a little bit longer? Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's get the sponge, get the checkpoint. Oh,
nice, nice, nice. That was some
No!
impressive performing.
Oh, but I messed it up. I messed it up. Hopefully I can go back. Okay, I'm still spongified. Shoot. Hold on. Huh. How do I get that?
I think you can't.
I think I messed it up. I think I gotta...
Yeah, I think you were supposed to bring the gem over to the left
Oh, I didn't even think about picking up the gem. I literally just mentioned doing it on a different spot, and now I'm like, that's interesting, because what you said is not at all what I was thinking. I was actually thinking, okay, never mind. I was thinking if I went under this, that those spikes wouldn't drop, and then if I came up from under here, that then I had to like wait to trigger those, but they do drop, so I gotta...
I actually wasn't sure if they were gonna drop. I forgot how I coded that.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's just like if you're below them, like regardless of height, or if there's like an obstacle, they just drop down.
Ah, shit. Nice. Okay. Get a little springboard here. There we go. Easy breezy. Then, okay, but I still... Oh, I see. Drop it. Then, because I was like, I'm still going to need it to bounce up here, but no. Drop it here. Now, place a checkpoint. Make sure I hit the right button here. Oh, I was like, watch me just throw it away. There we go. 415, here we come. Chip away, what a great name. Chip's Challenge.
That's a blast from the past.
Yeah, an all-time classic right there.
Yeah, I was never really any good at it, but it's a classic.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was really any good of a game, really, but it was just kind of like, everybody had it, and it was pretty cool. Like, I remember the levels being cool and clever.
Oh yeah, like the main idea, like the core idea was sound, and it made the most of it, and it was a cult classic, but mainly because everybody owned it, I think.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, it's a good game, like, if you like puzzle games.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've talked about it on the podcast in passing. We haven't done like a full like deep dive. Oh, let's replay it, but we definitely have talked about it before because it's just like this is just a classic. Okay, hold on. So this is a tight squeeze here. Oh wait, I thought I was gonna die there. So I could just beat the stage, but that would be foolish. I should have set a checkpoint somewhere, though. You live and you learn, and apparently not me. You just live and you never learn.
You just occasionally remember.
Yeah, every once in a while, you're like, oh, now would be a good time to use a checkpoint. Okay. Don't play like a total fucking idiot here. There we go. Because you can't, like... My brain keeps telling me that I can, like, hit this thing and then... Like, throw another spear into it, but you can't do that. Man, I don't know what to do here. There we go. That'll work. Get it. It's like, watch me not get enough height. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Finally. You really are determined to get all the emblems, aren't you?
Shit. I didn't notice those, didn't see those spikes. It's just something about a platformer, man. I'm just like, I have to do everything that there is to do. I don't have to, but I feel extra compelled for some reason. Damn it. Okay. Can I just make that? There we go. Oh. I wasn't ready for that. Okay. Man, I'm kind of stumped here. I don't really know what to do. Not that. Go over this way. I think I want to hit the balloon, not the, or hit the gem, not the balloon.
Probably.
There we go. Okay. Oh, I think, oh man, I don't know. Maybe. No, that wouldn't make sense. I was like, do you have to put the sponge on the sponge? But I don't think that would work.
I'm not telling. I'm just trying to remember if there's a story behind that level name.
Oh, I see.
Like, I don't think it has any meaning whatsoever. I'm just trying to remember.
Well,
that was probably one of those instances where my brain just went like, yeah, I don't know.
Or you're just like, all right, then, I guess that works. But I guess, yeah, it is the double sponge. Double sponge technique. Did you ever listen to Sponge? Speaking of 90s grunge music, I don't think they were very big. I don't think they were very big. I can't imagine they made much of a splash outside of America. They were also a band from, like, they were. I think they had a national, like, hit and whatever, but they were from Detroit, so I, like, have a little extra attachment to them. Oh shit!
You're from Detroit originally?
Detroit area, yeah.
Oh, nice. Alice Coopertown.
Yes, indeed, yeah. Oh shit. Oh,
yeah, Sponge does ring a bell, but I can't remember any of their songs if I've ever listened to one of them consciously.
Their biggest hit was I think the song was just called Molly or something, but the main chorus was like 16 candles down the drain. It was actually a pretty good song.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a reference to the John Hughes movie.
Yeah,
16 Candles.
It very well might be, yeah. Oh shit, that was not what I wanted to do. But yeah, they had a few cool songs. I remember thinking as a kid, I was like, I like all the it was either all the even or all the odd numbered tracks. Like it was like every other song was kind of a dud, and then every other song was like, oh yeah, this is pretty good.
Makes you wonder if that was intentional.
Hey, Chaotic, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, take care and have fun hanging with the kids.
Yeah, see ya. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, Chaotic's definitely got good taste. Similar taste to me. We always are on a similar wavelength with the games we're checking out. Shit, man, I don't know what to do here. Like, to get that emblem, I don't know what to do.
You do need a sponge.
And I'm thinking I gotta, like, spear it over there somehow. But actually, I don't know, because it would just probably go all the way through. Damn it! I wonder, you know what? This is interesting. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, there it goes again. It's like, you sure you don't want to try puzzle mode?
You
Okay.
can just skip the level.
That's true, that's true. I was thinking, oh shit, I was thinking like up here I could maybe hit the balloon from here, but that's definitely not gonna work. Alright, let's see. Oh shit, okay, so you really can't make that jump over those spikes after you go through there. Okay, got that. So I can make the jump over here, but... I could do this, but again, that doesn't do me a whole lot of good. Huh. Huh. Oh, okay. Grab it out of midair, eh? I was
Sure, why not?
I was trying to do that earlier, and I think I just didn't have enough height on the sponge. Like it was, you know, it wasn't high enough for me to grab, so I just assumed that I wasn't gonna be able to reach it there. But I guess I can. But now it's just a matter of not
Placing a
fucking this
checkpoint,
up.
yes.
Oh yeah, good point, good point, good call. Now that it's almost too late. There we go. Didn't even need it. Didn't even need it. I just needed to play the level 12 times.
Which is a good alternative.
Yeah, exactly.
If that's how you want to live your life.
You only live once. Let's see here. Okay, I want to take this with me. Okay, make sure I'm not too close to that block so I don't die. Okay, hold on. Before I get too crazy here. Shit. Ah. Not quite. Ah. Maybe? Yes! Cheese that. Don't mind if I do. Okay. There we go. Oh, and I got the emblem already. So I think I can just move along. Heck yeah. Didn't even need that gem, baby.
Huh.
Didn't even, but see, that's like the stuff I'm talking about. It's like I clearly didn't solve the level via the solution, but it didn't feel like I was like, oh, this game feels busted. Like it feels like I was like, oh, what a cool, like I figured out a new solution, you know, that you didn't even think of, you know, like I love that. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how it feels a little bit. You're like, oh, even the dev didn't see this one coming. Like it's a cool feeling. Again, like if there's too much of that, it can feel janky and busted, but like in this case, not in the slightest. It feels great. Every time, oh shit. But every time I find like an accidental solution, I'm like, oh yeah, that's like I feel like a genius.
Yeah, I mean, that makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, every time.
And honestly, I don't quite remember what you were supposed to do with that gem, so, you know, it's fair enough that you found, like, a different solution.
Yeah, okay, there's the TNT. I was like, what am I supposed to do here? Okay. So we got rubber bands everywhere. Or sponges, not rubber bands. I don't know why I called them rubber bands there. Let's go here. Can I get up there? No. Just a little too high. Okay, so I know I gotta do this. That's without question. Now the question is... Toss that over there, just so I can hopefully use it later. Oh, shit. Okay. There we go. Okay. Pretty sure I see what I need to do. Bounce on up here. Oh, shit. How am I going to get out of there? Shit. Ah.
Like, even you are running out of steam. Like, slowly but surely.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, man, shit. Yeah, they're getting tricky. They're getting tricky.
I mean, they have been tricky for a while. You're just, like, a really pro gamer, so...
Let's see. I can sneak out of here. They're just not gonna... Oh, you know what? If I can... Yeah. Oh, come on. No, come on.
Come on.
My instinct tells me I can get this.
Yeah, you might be able to.
If I get it, like,
Maybe.
right at the tip. Ah, shit. Yes! Yes!
Haha, sounds like you made it.
I love it. I keep getting
Nice.
confused too, like when, like right when a level starts and you spawn like in your teleport portal, like, and then you can see both of them. I'm like, oh wait, where's the exit? Which one's which? But yeah, we're getting there. For what, 6 more levels, 7 more levels to clear the main 100.
Yup, 25 is the last one.
All right, we got this. Let's see. What do I want or need to do here? Man, just starting off with a head scratcher right off the bat, you're just like, what the hell am I supposed to do? And I guess I'm gonna need this. Well, I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't feel right. Huh. Again, I don't think I'm supposed to do that. Maybe. But when I do those little corner cuts, it feels like that's not what was intended, I feel. Oh,
Well, I mean,
come on.
Sometimes or most of the times it is, I think. And I mean, there's no other way for you to get past any of that. So I think in this case it was intentional.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
pretty sure there's like spots in the game where you weren't supposed to do that, but rather find like a long way around.
Yeah, but I like how you can like really hug those corners. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
I mean, like the jumping. Oh god, what the hell was that?
Yeah, the sponge like went upwards there, just like, oh shit.
Like the balloons gave me so much weird trouble, especially like right before release.
Didn't you say the balloons were giving you trouble in Pogo Girl as well?
Yes, yeah. Because like that was after the release because somebody just couldn't get them to work. Like he'd hit the balloon and it wouldn't launch him up, and I'm like, why? Like why is that happening? And then I figured out the problem because he kept pressing the twirl button, which you need to activate the balloon, and he kept pressing it, and that just interrupted your momentum.
Yeah.
So that was easy to fix. But the balloons in Speer, they were like super jank, and I never figured out why. Like the night before release, I was doing like a final test run, and I hit a balloon, and the item that was like on the balloon, I think it was a barrel, just slowly, agonizingly like jittered down to the ground, and the moment it hit the ground, it just snapped back to where the balloon was.
Yeah.
And then the balloon suddenly exploded and everything was fine, and I had no idea what was going on. And I still don't know why that happened, and it happened too often for me to just be like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
And I just couldn't figure it out, so I just ended up adding like a lot of little fail safes in the code, like here and there, to make sure that if the balloon is hit, it pops, and if it pops, the item falls down with regular gravity.
Yeah,
And
like
now
like
you just manage to like have the balloon leave the area with the sponge still on it, which isn't supposed to happen.
yeah.
Like the balloon is supposed to leave the screen if you spear away the item. Like if you hit the sponge and like take it away from the balloon just floats away, and that's fine. But you manage to like get the balloon to go away while it still had the sponge, and I have no idea how you did that, but I'm just gonna try and pretend I didn't see that. So if you could cut that out of the VOD, maybe that would like help a lot.
Yeah, just give you a little peace of mind, little extra sanity.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, it didn't take the sponge with it, and it just dropped down, so that's good. But...
Yeah, it like hit the ceiling and then just dropped it. Yeah. Beautiful. Nice.
Congrats on using the checkpoint, by the way. You did
I know,
it,
yeah. I didn't even
appreciate the hustle.
Exactly. I was just like, you know what? I did enough on this level. I earned the checkpoint here. Okay, let's see. So I could, if I hit the spear. Oh no, it's not. It doesn't hit the yellow. Oh, it does. Okay, I just gotta hit the right angle. Okay. Then I hit the red. Then I hit the green. Okay. What good does this do me, though, is the question. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Obviously, no biggie, but I can't believe I got hit by that.
It happens.
Yeah. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so sponge. Probably gonna need to bring it down.
That's where this like drop move comes in handy, where you can just like drop through the sponge without bouncing on it.
Yeah, big time. And I love how you can either throw the item or just press down to like let go and drop it, like, you know, square on the spot you're on.
Yeah, you definitely needed that for precision, because having to like calculate the arc every time was just like painful.
Yeah, oh yeah, I bet. Shit. Oops. There we go.
Also, originally, sponges could bounce off other sponges.
Interesting.
But I'm pretty sure I took that out because that was like too crazy and too glitchy. Like it was never intended or required. It's just that like all the items collide with each other, and I didn't explicitly tell the sponges to ignore other sponges. So if you threw a sponge onto another sponge, it just bounced off. And
yeah.
You could build like these really jank stairways by like stacking sponges that would keep bouncing off of each other.
Like almost like like Metroid bombs, kind of. That's like sort of what I'm picturing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly like that. And that would obviously break just about every puzzle.
Yeah.
That involved sponges, and it was just so like it was also jank. Like sometimes the collision wouldn't work, and I just didn't want people to think that was something they had to do.
Right.
Because trying to get that to work was even worse than in Metroid, where you could at least place like the bombs yourself. But the physics kept freaking out, so I had to like add a block that sponges would not like bounce up other sponges.
Yeah.
So things would just be like too crazy.
That makes total sense to me.
And I think you still haven't found like the little move that you can do with a sponge.
Oh, interesting. I'm curious. You'll have to let me know if I don't find it by the end of this here. I'll have to see if
I mean, maybe you did, and I just didn't see it. But I don't think you.
I'm trying to figure out, like, this one I'm starting to. I think I moved that portal too early. I think last time. I think what I need to do here is hit it again now, or shoot through it now. Or wait a sec. What was my plan here? What was I about to do? I had a plan where I was like, oh yeah, this is what I need to do. And now that I restarted the level, I'm like, wait, what was I doing again?
Yeah, plans have a tendency to like just
there it
disappear,
is.
to evaporate.
There it is. This is what I wanted. I wanted to bounce up here. Yeah. Take my sponge with me. Bounce up here. Sponge my way up here. Okay, I think. Yeah, again, I didn't need the gem again. I should have done a checkpoint.
Those green gems are.
Well, it's almost.
cursed.
Well, not even necessarily cursed. It might have just been like an easier solution, you know, like maybe I could have like, because there clearly are walls that I could have used it on, you know, so it's like, okay, I could have used it, but I could see it like if you're like sitting there trying to think like, where am I supposed to use this gem? And if you don't technically need it, yeah, you could be like racking your brain for technically no reason, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, most levels, especially the later ones, do have other like paths that I didn't think of. That's just inevitable.
Yeah.
Because if I really wanted to ensure that there's only one way to beat the levels, I'd have to gate off pretty much everything, and then it's just like a linear series of challenges.
Right,
Like it's
right.
not really a puzzle game anymore, so I couldn't do that. I just had to make reasonably sure that you couldn't break the game too easily, like that you couldn't just like do one thing and then like skip 99% of the level without using any of the items or whatever.
Right, right. Dang, okay, this is tricky here.
Yep, that's a tricky one.
Oh, shit. So I'm thinking what I want to do is throw... Oh! I did not think that was going to happen. Okay, but I'll take it. Oh, no! You stupid fuck. But I thought it was going to bounce straight up. I didn't think it was going to go, like, carry the momentum. That's cool.
Yep, it does.
That's awesome. Oh, wrong
You don't
side.
want to get lasered, don't run into the bounce pad.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's delicate. I really love those little, like, steam particles or whatever, you know, little dust particles when you're,
It does
like,
can liven up a game so much.
yeah, just the changing of directions or when you're jumping, like, yeah, it just gives it, it's also what gives it that Pico 8 kind of flair. Again, I know you said you kind of went with that palette and the kind of, like, resolution. And yeah, it's just so cool.
Yeah, that was definitely like
Get the
a
fuck
conscious decision because like Pico 8 games, they look amazing. Like the color palette is so limited, but it's just so vibrant. You
Yeah,
know? So
yeah.
It just pops. And like Pico 8 devs, man, they're so insane. Like the stuff they can make that little virtual console do, it's just insane.
It's insane, yeah. It's like this
And,
thing
like,
is technically way less powerful than like an NES, I think, right? But at the same time, it's like, it's kind of way more. I don't know. What people can do on that thing is just nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it was made with the express purpose of emulating, like, the limits that old hardware had. And I don't know what the goal hardware was. Like, if it was supposed to be like an NES or a Game Boy Color or whatever. But yeah, then people were just like, yeah, screw that. I'm gonna make Doom in this. It's like,
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna make like a 3D racing game with polygons and shit. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, like, you do you, whatever.
Yeah.
But like even the smaller ones, like the 2D Pico 8 games, they just have that look about them that looks really appealing. And when I was trying to figure out what to do for Speer, I was like, yeah, okay, like this is gonna be my first game, and I don't really have a lot of artistic talent. Like I've never really done a game on this scale before, except Magnet Man, and that was kind of a clusterfuck, I have to say.
You're too hard on that game. That game is great. I know what you mean. Like there's some little issues here and there, but I love that game.
Yeah, but like the entire development of that game was just like.
Oh, I see. I see.
shank.
Yeah.
Like it had like 2 engine switches. Like I changed the engine 2 times and stuff. So I'm glad that game got done at all.
Right.
But then
Right.
for Spear, I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's try to keep it simple. Like, don't overreach. Don't go for like super fancy graphics or whatever. Just find like a strong core mechanic and then like a simple visual style that works. I was like, yeah, Pico 8 works. So let's just do that. And I wasn't talented enough to make like an actual Pico 8 game. Cause like I tried. Like I downloaded it, bought it, like fiddled around with it, and I was like, yeah, okay, no, that's too much of a hassle for me. And I didn't want to go into game dev, like actually sell games, make a living off of that. So using Pico 8 would just like have hamstrung me.
Right.
But I
Right.
was like, yeah, you know what? I can at least like steal the palette and then just like go with a similar visual style.
Yeah, yeah. There's been a few
Which
games that I've played that have like they're not Pico 8 games, but they're clearly like kind of using that aesthetic, and I'm like, yeah, I'm here for that all day.
Yeah, same here. Like the games still look amazing.
Yeah.
Even though the palette looks very like dissonant. Like if you look at it, you're like, how am I supposed to make anything with this? And then people go and make like a forest. And they
Right.
made like a spaceship, and they made like an ocean, like a seaside town or whatnot. And I'm like, Like how? Like how do you do that?
The textures that people can do are just like out of control. Because that's the thing. I tried messing around with it, and I have no game dev experience, but I tried messing around with it for just a little bit just to see if I could do anything, you know. And it's just like, yep, nope, I can't do anything with this. Man, this, speaking of not being able to do anything with this, man, I have no idea what to try here. Like, this feels kind of right. But I feel like I'm supposed to, like, oh, wait a sec. No, that wouldn't do anything. Oh, not a checkpoint. Whoops. Let's see here. Like, am I doing this too early? I don't think so. Huh. Because yeah, you don't really have, like, a ton of time to, like... Ah! Oh, wait a sec. No. Oh, maybe. Ah! Oh, I could have thrown it. Damn it. Okay. I guess that kind of works. Ah! Yes.
Yeah, you're on the right track, I think.
Okay. Now the question is, do I need to bring a portal with me too?
I honestly don't remember, so I'm not
I'm
gonna
winging it.
comment on that.
Okay, let's see. Yes. It's like, I don't think that's gonna make it, but I guess it will. Okay. Now, I think I do need to bring that portal with me. I don't know why, I'm just getting that feeling. Ah, I hit the wrong button. Hit the spear button instead of the item throw button.
In the original game, you didn't have like a separate throw button. It was all the spear button.
Ah, shit.
And that could cause like situations where you would try to pick up an item, but you just like yeet it away with a spear because you weren't close enough.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, probably a good idea to make this like a separate button.
Yeah, it's like, it can be a little, like either way you'd run into the issue. Like, as part of you, yeah, your brain like tends to think like, oh, well, I'm throwing my spear, I want to throw this item, I want to hit that same button. But at the same time, if it, yeah, you're more likely to like double tap and press the button, you know, twice on accident. And make that mistake. So yeah, probably better to just try to avoid that. Okay, here we go.
So far, so good.
Oh, no!
Remember your checkpoints.
Yes, yes. Always a good friendly reminder. Probably here's a good spot, yeah. The question is, do I want to bring the portal... I think I do. Yes, barely. Oh, shit. I keep thinking there's a bottomless, like, spike pit down here, and I keep getting extra nervous to...
I'm not that cruel.
Yeah. Okay, there we go, there we go. Yeah, yeah. We haven't gotten to the challenge levels yet. Okay, let's see. Let's tiptoe my way over here. Let's just set this down. Hit that. Make sure there's no, like, spikes hovering over my head. Okay.
Yeah, the tiptoeing around is one of those things I'm still a bit iffy on. Because when you're like on a small platform, then you have like 2 items on there, and you have to be really careful not to like accidentally grab this one or throw that one away.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
I don't really like, but I'm not entirely sure how I'd be able to fix that, like, other than just making all the platforms bigger and ensuring that you never have too much stuff like in the same spot.
Yeah,
I can't really
yeah.
do that, and I can't really prevent players from like carrying stuff around and doing that.
From trying
like
it,
one-
yeah.
That's one of those things I'd love to like improve or fix, but I have no idea how. Like how to make it a bit less finicky.
Yeah, because in the tiptoeing, I mean, that's just part of the game. Like, it does feel, but yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it can be very frustrating for a player to, like, when you're playing a game, you know, to just be like, oh, I just barely tapped to the side and I accidentally, you know, now I'm dead because of that.
Exactly. It can get frustrating, and I don't want it to be too frustrating. It is
Right.
part of the challenge, but it shouldn't like overshadow everything else, you know?
Right.
You should be focused on the puzzles and the platforming. You shouldn't really be fighting with like the game's mechanics, basically, with the controls.
Right, exactly. Now let's see. Do you think I can grab? Oh, I can grab it off the. I didn't think I was gonna be able to snag that. Okay, interesting. Okay. So.
3 more levels.
Yeah. Oh, and I know what I need to do here. Boom! Little bounce shot, bounce pass. Okay.
I'm not really a sports guy, but aren't you supposed to yell like Kobe when you do that?
Yeah, that's probably appropriate. Yeah. I think that's about right.
All the memes.
And we've John and Randall are the big basketball guys on the Pursuing Pixels podcast. Like, they love that stuff. Oh shit! I fucked it up. I dropped the portal. I hit that red switch and knocked it over, or knocked it down to the ledge below before I could hit that green switch. Okay.
I wish Valve would drop a new portal.
I've never played those games, actually. Not for any,
really?
like, particular reason. I think I've played, like, a couple seconds of Portal 2 or something, like, with a friend who had it. Like, just like, oh, check this out. But, yeah, I've never, like, given them a fair shot in earnest. And for no particular reason. I just never had, like, an Xbox at the time or whatever. But I hear they're great, obviously.
Oh, they definitely are. They're really well-designed games. It's a cool mechanic. And it's one of those games that has like one strong core mechanic, and the entire game is just built around it like really well, and they expand like the mechanic in really interesting ways. So yeah, Portal 1 and 2 are just amazing games. The second one can feel a bit bloated in some points, because like the first game was basically like Speer. You just had like a row of test chambers, like one after the other.
Right.
The second one was a bit more open. You had a bit more like story in between, but it was not overbearing or anything. So it's not really a big issue. And I want to go a bit bigger with a sequel, which also had like a lot of like positive aspects to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are a great game. So like if you ever get around to it, and I'm pretty sure that your
Oh my
laptop
God.
could probably play them.
Playing them and playing and then playing and streaming is totally different, or even like recording any video. But if I'm just playing, I usually can handle stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you do have to stream it, which is like another
Well, I don't
layer on top.
I don't necessarily have to. I just like a lot of times when I'm playing stuff, I always try it that way. So like if I just play the game on its own, a lot of times I have much better luck. But it's just unfortunate that I'm like, oh man, I can't really. Well, I can talk about it on the podcast if it's something that I can't. But I've also got the consoles too. You know, I had Orange Box, and that's like the version of Portal that I had, but I never got around to playing it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like again, other than just for a few minutes.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I have so many unplayed games.
Oh yeah, it's. I'll never be able to play all the games that I want to in my lifetime. It'll never happen. Unfortunately, it's a good problem to have, but it is a little bit of a bummer where you're just like, oh man, well, I guess I'm just never gonna be able to play some really cool games.
Yeah, it really is, and I especially have way too many JRPGs on the shelf, which take like 60 to like 90 hours a pop. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna need like half the year for this one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be able to. Yeah, I think I can take this gem out of here. Shit. Yes! I was really hoping it wouldn't land down the pit. Okay, but the question still remains. Oh shit, I still gotta bring this portal. Damn, okay. Hold on. Well, hold on. No, I think I can do this. Come on. There we go. Now this time I don't mind if it goes all the way into the pit. Okay, yeah, I can do this. Okay. Then I want to... Just praying I don't accidentally hit this thing. Maybe we put this here. I don't even know if I'm gonna need it, but just in case. Let's see. Snipe that. You're telling me I need the fucking sponge to get... Or no, no, no. I think I can... Yeah, I can still get it. I need this gem is all. Okay, I was like, are you telling me I need the fucking sponge too to still get this thing? Unreal. I was like, how am I gonna get out of there? Okay, as long as I don't totally botch this, I should have this. Okay.
Let's see you botch it up.
There it is. I'm just so nervous that I'm gonna throw the spear. I should have done a checkpoint. That I'm gonna throw the spear like just a smidge too high or something.
Ooh, good work, man.
Man,
good
yeah,
work.
These levels are getting tricky. Okay. So we got let's see. I guess take the sponge down here. Snipe this. Take this. Man, I don't like the look of that just single floating spear or that emblem just sitting there. Making me nervous. Like, how the hell am I gonna collect that thing? Oh, wait a sec.
You might figure it out.
I think I might have just. Okay. Yes. Oops. Oh, shit. I gotta bring this one, too. There we go. Heck yeah. That's slick. Part of me feels like I might have screwed myself up here, but maybe not. Let's take this with me, just in case.
It's really impressive to, like, watch your brain at work.
It is fun because, like, a lot of times I do, like, with the videos that I do for, like, the YouTube channel, you know, it's kind of, like, short and sweet, get a little taste of, like, the opening bits of a game, and then, like, you know, that's it. Like, and that's usually stuff that I've played a decent amount, so I've, like, okay, I know the ropes here. I'm kind of just showing, you know, just trying to show some of the game in action. But when I stream, it's, like, a little different. It's like, okay, now I'm getting to, like, figure out the game, or sometimes I'm checking out a game, like, kind of learning it for the first time. It's definitely fun to mix it up, do a little bit of both.
And now you're, like, essentially doing a long play.
Yeah, exactly. And now I'm like, okay, I can snag this one out of the air. I don't know if that does me any good here, but shit. I'm like, I want to hit that red one again, kind of to, like, make that platform down there. Oh, wait a sec. Wait a sec. I don't need it. I guess you're just what I needed. I needed someone to be. Shit, I didn't go fucking high enough. Get the fuck out of here. I don't even know if I would have been able to go high enough, to be honest. Maybe I need... Wait a sec.
It's gonna be really fun to watch you finagle your way out of this one.
Yeah, I gotta restart. Because I think I messed that up somewhere.
You didn't do the intended thing. I don't know if you could have, like, saved yourself.
There was, like, part of me that felt like I could have saved it, but I was like, I know I'm gonna, like, sit here and, like, not stop trying to save it if I don't. So I was like, it's probably better to just throw in the towel here and start it over. Because I think I think the main thing I want to do differently is this, I think I want to hit that first. I don't even know if that's going to make much of a difference here, but oh, yes, it is. It's going to make a huge difference. Okay. So we'll get this. Oh, give me a break. Oh, no! Snipe myself. Yeah. Wrong,
Sad trombone.
Exactly.
Wah, wah.
Man, you always throw these, when you jump and chuck these, throw them a little further than I anticipate. Oh, maybe I'll leave this one on the balloon. But I'm not as close to it, so I gotta time it a little better. Okay.
I'm so relieved that the balloon didn't, like, float away when you tried that.
Yeah, just waiting for it to happen.
Yeah, you are supposed to do that. Like, you're supposed to interact with items even when they're still on the balloon. But, like, you know.
Yeah,
you never know what happens.
You never know. You never know.
And I'm just, like, really, really, like, suspicious of the damn balloons now. Because they've given me so much random trouble that I was never able to pin down.
Yeah. See, I think I probably could have done this a little better, but I'll be able to cheese it. Oh, wait, but I'm going to end up killing myself in the process. Shit. Ah, fucking come on. Ah. I don't think there's a way out of this one. Okay. What am I doing wrong here? Let's find out. So let's hit this. Dang it, not quite. Ah, come on. Hey, what's up, Rafa? How's it going? Clever porting? You're like, that's what I'm doing right now. Nice.
What you porting?
I'm guessing Unichrome. I think Unichrome's coming to consoles and stuff. I'm guessing that's a little joke there. That's have you seen that game much in action? I'm gonna be doing a stream just like this on Thursday with Rafa for the Unichrome to take a look at that. I've only played just a smidge of that one, and I'm excited to dive in a little deeper.
That's, I think I've seen that in the Discord, haven't I?
Oh, it's not a funny joke, but... yeah, he's posted in the Discord a few times, yeah. It's a cool, like, run and gun, like, I think it's level-based, like, there's... Oh, shit, almost sniped myself again. But I think there's, you know, some, like, Metroidvania exploration elements as well. Okay, so what do I want to do here is the question. So I want to drop this right there. No sponge for now. Now the question is, what the fuck was I trying to do before that I messed up? Oh my, that's what I did. I hit the fucking balloon and I could have just set a checkpoint.
Yes.
Oh my god. Give me a fucking break. Okay. Here it is.
Unicorn with a bazooka is a good elevator pitch, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, based on Mega Man, that's like sold, and sold 3 times over. But yeah, Unicorn with a bazooka, you can't really go wrong with that. Okay, make sure I don't forget to hit this. Okay. Now, if I... Oh, fuck off, man. Okay. Hit that. I'm not getting mad at the game, by the way. I'm just mad at myself. And it, yeah, it's just standard procedure with gameplay.
I mean, it's also fun to get angry at the game.
Exactly.
Considering that you've been going non-stop, so...
Exactly. Yeah, it's just fun to let out some let loose on the games once in a while. I'm always self-conscious about it. I think I've said this a million times on various streams, but when I was checking out the game Sprout, which is kind of similar to this, like single screen, more of a precision platformer, but it's got similar elements to this. But single screen precision platforming, and I was just like, every 5 seconds, I was like, oh shit, oh fuck, and like the developer was like, oh, I hope you liked the game. I was like, oh, it's so into it, I loved it. But I was like, if the cursing just means I was more into the game. Oh wait, did I not?
I mean, you really got into it, and I mean, you have proven that you do like Speer, because you wouldn't be playing otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, nice. I got the thing that I needed. So, see, now I'm torn. It's like, do I Do I throw the spear into the wall? Yeah, okay, I do. Then I throw the sponge. Okay, yeah, I almost did that backwards and almost fucked that up. Okay, checkpoint. Let's go! Oh!
Oh God. Yeah, come on. Don't fuck this up, dude. Don't fuck it up. Come on.
Thank God I did the checkpoint.
Yes.
Thank God. The final chaos. Dr. Wily, here I come. Speaking of Mega Man. All right, take a sip of coffee for the final level here. What were you about to say?
That's the yeah. I was just gonna answer like 8-Bit Rafa's question. This is the final stage of World 4, and then there's still an entire World 5 with 25 more levels.
Oh, you've been watching this whole time, Rafa? Nice, nice. Yeah, this game is fantastic.
Lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so this is a tricky level you got going on here. Because part of me thinks, like, when I see that green gem, I think, like, oh, that's going to be, like, a permanent spear that sticks in those metal walls. But that's not the case at all. It's just a one-time use spear. Oh, shit. Well.
Yeah, that was another mechanic that I thought about, like, that you could have, like, permanent spears and stuff like that. But, yeah, I do have a lot of ideas to expand the concept, and I'm pretty sure I will do, like, a sequel.
There's a lot of room for, there's just so much more you could do. Yeah, I feel like you just had to like probably like cut yourself off at some point because you're like, yeah, you could just keep adding new elements. Not that, I mean, obviously it takes creativity to come up with new creative elements to add, but it feels like you could just keep going.
And I mean, I did want to be able to release a game, so I had to like keep it short and sweet basically, and even then I worked on it for like 2 years or something, which wasn't intended at all.
Right.
But yeah, I had to keep it short, especially since that was supposed to be my first commercial release, and I didn't want to overreach.
Right.
I fall into the trap that like a lot of indie devs do, like they just spend like 6 years working on like a single game, and then they put it out and they don't get lucky, so it just like disappears into the mist of like the 10,000
the million other games. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that released that same month, so I wanted to be like smart about that, make a short game first. You can always do sequels, you know, or DLC or whatever.
Right, right.
And I do have a lot of ideas like for sequels,
oh my God,
expanded versions, for like different takes on the same concept. Problem is a lot of people have like also done similar games. I forget the name, but occasionally on Twitter I'll see like a GIF of a game that has like the same base mechanic, but implements it in a much more interesting and dynamic way, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, now I can't use this anymore.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I could have done that, but yeah, I don't want anybody to think I'm just like stealing ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
Because yeah, I mean, I've played other games myself that kind of use a similar mechanic, but I can't say that I've seen it done much better than this, to be honest.
I mean, the game itself was inspired by Quackshot, and I've been open about that, so it's not like a ripoff.
Nice,
but Quackshot also had this mechanic where you had like this plunger gun, and you could get an upgrade that would let you like make platforms with it. But it was never really used a lot in that game. So I was like, yeah, okay, that's a cool concept. Let's see what I can do with it, and I just tried to push it as far as I could within the confines of this like puzzle game, like single screen puzzle game.
Yeah.
And there's obviously a lot more you could do if you went like, for example, in the Metroidvania direction, or like made a level-based game or whatever. But I just wanted to see, like, challenge myself, push myself to see how much stuff I could like come up with while working within these constraints.
Yeah.
And yeah, like turns out I can come up with a lot.
Fuck
I have no
off.
idea how I did that.
Yeah, this game is just jam-packed with great ideas. Okay, so let's get this gem over here.
Good Rafa has been hiding in the bushes, watching you play with your spear.
Yeah, yeah, just watching me play like a total clown over here. Okay. Okay. There we go. So this is something. There's something to this here. I'm feeling good about this core idea that I'm trying to execute. Like, if I can chuck this portal up here, yeah, okay. So this is something I needed to do. Oh. Nope. There we go. Okay. So, what good does that do me now, is the question. There we go. I can't quite get up there. Shit. Oh, lucky. But wait, now I feel like I need this. Oh, wait a sec. I feel like I need the sponge again.
I do have to admit, I'm out of my depth here. Like, I did beat the game when, like, testing it for this release, but I have no real recollection.
Yeah, just like, what is this?
Yeah,
oh, you're talking to Rafa? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no, I haven't even seen that
Oh,
message.
they were just asking, like, how do you deal with balancing and difficulty and stuff? So I feel like it's kind of, it was similar to what you were just touching on. Like, oh, man, I have no idea now that I've, like, been a few years down the line since you designed these levels. You're like, okay, I can clear it, but I don't know exactly what the solution is.
Yeah, like in this game, Rafa, I did make the levels in order, but I had a list of obstacles. Like, I made a list of all the gimmicks and obstacles in the game, try to sort them by, like, difficulty and complexity. And so I knew, like, okay, I'm gonna introduce this one before I introduce this one. Like, obviously, I would introduce the regular teleporters first before I put in, like, the portable ones and stuff like that. So I had a list of, like, a rough outline of how the levels would flow. And then I would just, like, start making levels. And once I hit a point where I'm like, okay, this is all I can do with the items I had so far, I would add, like, a new item and then implement that and try to see what I could do with this. And then I just ended up with like 100 levels, and I did then go through them all again and like checked if I could improve like the flow, if I could like reorder them to make more sense. Maybe I needed to introduce like a mechanic earlier than I did, and so I tweaked them. But in general, I basically just made the levels in the right order, like from the get-go, and then just tweaked stuff like when it came up. And it was difficult, like, to do that, but as I told Kevin before, that did help with, like, emergent gameplay. Like, by playing the levels over and over and revisiting them, I stumbled upon, like, new possibilities, because I was like, oh, wow, it would be cool if I could do this, or, like, this puzzle would be more interesting if you had this item. And then I'd, like, add stuff, improve upon, like, all the puzzles and stuff, so it was a time-consuming process, but it was fun, which, you know, is not a thing you usually say when you're like designing 125 levels in total.
Yeah.
But it worked out okay, I think. Like, I've never heard anybody complain about like an unfair difficulty curve or something like that, so did the best I could, and apparently it was enough.
Heck yeah, definitely more than enough for me, and I think I might be on my way. Oh shit, I might have spoke too soon. I was gonna say I might be on my way to victory here, but
yeah, like, dude, you were in front of the exit, and now I'm just watching you like clown around.
Well, I gotta get the emblem. Come on. No, I gotta check.
You got a checkpoint.
I was gonna say I got the checkpoint. I got the checkpoint.
I didn't see it there. Like, I thought it was a spike or something, but yeah, you did place a checkpoint, so kudos. But
that's
it hurts. Like, you're like in front of the exit, and you're like, nah, I'm gonna climb back down.
I gotta get that emblem. There it is. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, it'd be great for a level editor for this. Yeah, because everything is like, it's not necessarily like built on a grid per se, but it kind of is. Like, yeah, you could really, I feel like people could come up with some really cool levels, especially because there's so much, there's so many mechanics that interplay with one another. Oh, weird. This might be another one of those controller situations. The A button's not registering.
Oh shit.
I think, what is it, C on keyboard?
Yeah, it's C on keyboard.
Let's see. Yep. There it is.
Shit. Oh shit.
Hey, no worries. Hey, that's what the streams are for, to find some bugs. Yeah, but we got a full new world to go through.
Not post-release, dude. Not post-release.
Oh, that's fine. That's a small little thing. But I do know what you mean. Yeah, that you could be sitting there like, what's going on? But obviously that's just a simple, hopefully a simple little fix or whatever. But
Yeah, it should be. It shouldn't be like a big issue. I just have to get on that before like more people run into that, because you don't want to beat the game, unlock stuff, and then be like, okay, I can't.
oh, the
quit
game
out of
froze.
this menu.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I soft locked myself now because I don't have the keyboard connected, or like I'm playing on the couch, like in Steam Big Picture mode or whatever.
Yeah. Did the screen just get all weird? I feel like all of a sudden I got like a half
Yeah,
screen.
something happened. I don't know. It was probably OBS or something.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't have been the game. Like I'm praying it's not the game.
Is it back to normal now?
It
Give it a few
seems that
seconds.
way. Looks normal to me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I was just switching windows there, so I think it just like had a weird hiccup. Again, my setup is so janky. I think I've sent pictures in the Discord before, but I'll put some. If you saw all the cables I had stretched across my apartment for any of these streams, you'd just be like, "What the hell are you doing?" Yeah, but just fantastic stuff, Ando. I really appreciate you hanging out, and let me pull up some music here just so we're not sitting in silence. But yeah, this is just really, yeah, thanks for hanging out, Rafa. Appreciate you hanging. But yeah, we're probably going to call it here as well, I think. I don't want to speak for Ando here, but you've already given me enough of your time here today. I just get lost doing these streams sometimes. I'm like, oh man, like when you said it's been 2.5 hours, like probably about an hour ago almost. It felt like I was like, really? I really thought we had maybe been playing for an hour at that point, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest compliment that you could give me. Like, if you get into that flow state in the game where you just, like, forget about the passage of time, and then you look out the window, and you see, like, daylight looming over the horizon, it's like, oh, fuck. But for a game dev, like, that's amazing, because I know how that feels as a gamer, and I know how rarely that happens when I'm not aware, like, of the time that's passing. So
like you fully actually get sucked. Yeah, you fully actually like get sucked into the game, and I will say one thing that it does kind of help me have that happen more often is like, honestly, one of the reasons we started pursuing Pixels was because we were like, like Randall and I used to live near each other. Now we live across the country, but it was like we would get together and play games all the time, and now it was like, oh, this is like, now we're barely playing games anymore, let alone keeping up and keeping in touch. It was like, we gotta like almost force ourselves. So it kind of started as like just a way to force ourselves to like keep up with our gaming hobby. And then it obviously just became, especially for me, I was just like, man, there's just so many of these indie games, and I bought that itch.io bundle for racial justice and equality, and it was like, well, now I have like 8,000 games on my computer that I need to go through, or however many it was, you know, just some absurd amount of games.
Yeah, it was huge. It was a huge-ass bundle.
Yeah, and just, yeah, so awesome. So again, I'm so glad I discovered your stuff. I mean, again, I'm sure I probably would have stumbled across it between Go Go Pogo Girl and this eventually, just because they're very much games that are my style, you know? But yeah, I really like how, like, this, like, to me, this, even though we were talking about the Pico 8 influence, it kind of has, like, almost like a little bit of, like Sega Master System feel to it in some ways. Like, I know you're a Sega guy, like your influence from growing up, and I can always feel, but same thing with Pogo Girl as well. It's like I kind of almost get like a Sonic vibe to the, not Sonic games, but like just like the structure and like even like this checkered background, the way it's like moving, like it just reminds me of Sega for some reason.
Yeah, I mean that's for a very good reason, because most of the time it's intentional, and even if I didn't want to do it, I'd end up doing it anyway, because it's just like etched into my DNA.
It's in your DNA, yeah, exactly. That's funny. That's too cool.
I mean, I started playing video games like legit when I was 4 years old. Like I got the Mega Drive Genesis, like for my fourth birthday. And I started out with Sonic, so that was the first game I really played. Like, I did play the Atari 2600 with my dad before that, but I don't even know if I was, like, conscious enough mentally to be able to claim that I actually played it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the original Sonic was, like, my very first actual video game experience, and so it's just etched into my DNA. Like, even if I didn't want to put influences from that game into my own games, like I couldn't avoid it.
Yeah,
like, it would just sneak in.
It's part of who you are. Yeah, there's just no way of getting around it. When it's those games you grew up on, it's like it's just part of you. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but I think we can probably wrap things up here and sign off. And Yeah, again, Ando, I can't thank you enough for not only making an awesome game and sending a copy of the game our way to check out, and yeah, I just can't thank you enough for spending so much time. You know, I know we didn't do a voice chat for the Go Go Pogo Girl stream, but I think I played through pretty much that whole game when we sat down for that one too for a pretty long session. So I really appreciate you taking the time to just chill out and spend a good chunk of the day with me.
Dude, I appreciate you checking out my games. I appreciate all the support you're giving me, and like having my game played on Steam, on stream, and for people to enjoy it. And it's like the best thing that could happen to me. So like, thank you very much for like taking the time, for playing the game for almost like 4 hours now.
Yeah, hey, the pleasure is truly all mine. And hey, Paradigm, just in time for us to sign off here. I don't know if you've been lurking like Rafa style, but yeah, thanks for, I know the Indie Game Collective folks are going to be checking out, and already have been checking this game out a little bit. I think a few of them have done some showcases as well already, so yeah, I know this is like one that's right up our alley. Like Paradigm and I mention this all the time too. We're always on a very similar wavelength when it comes to games, so we're always like passing these along. And yeah, when this one dropped, we're like, Speer DX, let's go, let's get hyped. So yeah, couldn't be more pumped, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited that I really was only about, I thought I was a little further in the game. I thought I was maybe 75% of the way through in the original one, but I was kind of excited that, yeah, I was only roughly, I think I only beat about the first 2 worlds, so the second 2 worlds were all new and fresh today, and then I got a whole nother world to go back for, so I love that. Same thing with Pogo Girl. Like, I really love that incentive. Or if I wouldn't have been going, like, let's say I said, okay, I want to play this game right now, and just kind of rip through it a little more casually and not go for the spear emblems every time, that I could leave those as an incentive to, like, okay, when I want to replay the game or have an itch to play a puzzle platformer, then I'll go back and get those emblems. You know, I just really like when a game has like all those different kind of segments where it's, again, not broken up into difficulties, but just gives you incentive to go back or to just play it more thoroughly the first time through. Whichever one you choose to go with. Like, I just went more thoroughly this time through, but like I just played Yoshi's Crafted World, and I talked about that on the podcast this week, but like I ended up leaving like the bonus like Poochie flip side levels for later, because I was like, I love this game, and that'll just give me a reason to replay all the levels again, and it'll be a totally fresh experience. So yeah, I easily could have left those spear emblems here, but you know, that's not my style. So
yeah, and you did a great job. Like, I honestly thought you'd give up after like the second world or something, but no, you stuck to it. There was all the emblems so far.
There was a couple in the last half of that last world. I was definitely like, I don't know, I don't even know if I'm gonna beat all 25 of these stages, but those last couple, I feel like I got over that one hump, and it was like, okay, these last few were like not easy, but I was in the right mental state to just like keep the momentum going.
Yeah, you were in the zone, and so like it pained me to see that, like you were like in front of the exit, but you're like, nah, I'm gonna go back, gonna go for the emblem. I might screw this over, but you know, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
And
well, you can't get 99. You can't get 99 emblems. You got to get all 100.
Yeah,
oh.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. And now I guess you'll have to like 100% the game.
I have to at this point. I got to get the achievements. Show off my Steam status, baby.
Yeah, since you're so active on Steam.
Yeah, all of my games on Steam. Yeah, too funny.
And like I said, you will unlock something, like, if you get all the emblems. I mean, unless it's broken, which I sincerely hope it's not. It's nothing spectacular, but it's pretty cool.
It's always cool to get a little reward, even if it is just something silly, or even if it is just a cool little logo, or just something where you're like, oh man, not that many people saw this. Like, it's just a little nice touch when you know the developer took a little extra time to add a little something, a little reward for your time, like, digging into their game. It's cool.
So yeah, man, keep me posted about your progress on
Will
Discord
do.
or whatever.
Yeah, we'll do for sure. And yeah, if anybody else is hanging in live, thanks for hanging out with us today. And definitely check out Speer DX. Definitely check out Go Go Pogo Girl. Definitely check out, whether Ando likes it or not, check out Magnet Man Adventures. Ando's got a few games on Itch.io, some of definitely of a smaller scope than Go Go Pogo Girl and Speer here. But yeah, definitely all stuff worth checking out, especially, well, I don't even have that Sega nostalgia, so even if you don't have that Sega nostalgia, I would say these are just awesome if you're a retro fan and in the slightest. These games are a true, I know you always call them like kind of like I feel like Go Go Pogo Girl's like your love letter to 90s platformers, and this is kind of your love letter to 80s like arcade platformers.
Yeah, that's it wasn't intended that way, but it definitely has more of like an old school arcade vibe, like
And
the 80s colors and stuff.
Yeah, it's those vibrant colors and then the single screen, self-contained levels.
Yeah.
Like it's that combination is just like feels very like, Pac-Man or, just that kind of structures or whatever. But yeah, thanks for hanging, everybody. We're gonna sign off here, and yeah, take care, and we'll catch you around either on the Discord or Twitch, or we're all over the internet. And so is Speer and Ando and Go Go Poker Girl. I'm just rambling at this point. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Take care, everyone, and have a good rest of the week. I was gonna say weekend, but we're at the start of the week here. So
Yeah, you wish, dude.
yeah,
You wish.
exactly. Don't we all? But yeah, take care, everybody, and we'll catch you all soon.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.